Hello. Welcome to the Fanfic Majesty. If you want more content, you can follow me on Patreon. I will be uploading more content on there that will be exclusive. The link is in the description. Please support me. 7 SWTF Chapter 151 Previous Chapter Next Chapter Advertisement. There is no reason that Luo Sha is not excited. That is the strength of their Sand Shinobi village companions, and he is the future 4th Hokage, whoever is not excited. Ebizo tremblingly told Luo Sha the cause and effect of today. Now, Shiandaki is vomiting blood and unconscious, and he is also a teacher of a group of defeated troops, so he can only leave it to Luo Sha to deal with it. Huh. The more Luo Sha listened, the more distorted his face became. When he heard the whole process, he was so angry that he wanted to breathe fire. Co-authoring and destroying half of my Sand Shinobi village just because of Tsunade Heim's joke. Luo Sha turned her head, first looking at the Konoha camp that was stationed vaguely in the distance, and then looking at Hanxing bathed in the thunder, with a gloomy tone. Is what Ebizo said true? Yes, Hanxing nodded, not denying it at all. Good. Luo Sha smirked in anger. He shouted, "Attention all Sand Shinobi, in the name of the future 4th Hokage, I order you, from now on you are led by Yi Kang. Go to the border of the Land of Fire. Never let the Konoha Shinobi enter our Land of Wind." After roaring, he looked at Ebizo again. "You stay. If it's true as the information said, I'm afraid I and Fenfu will not be able to keep him." Okay. Ebizo nodded. To be honest, so many Sand Shinobis suddenly killed the people opposite him. If it wasn't for him being an opponent, he would definitely not have done so. Now that Luo Sha is in his early stage, he just swept away the suffocation in his heart and killed this man named Han. People, take revenge. Advertisement, Yi Kang. At this moment, Luo Sha suddenly shouted. Lord Rosa. A 20-year-old girl appeared in front of Luo Sha. She said respectfully. You should have heard what you just said. Yes, Lord Luo Sha. Go. Before we kill the person on the opposite side, you have to stop it even if you die, you know. Take Chio away by the way. If Granny Chio wakes up, you can hand over the military to her. Clear. As soon as Yi Kang finished speaking, he shouted abruptly, his clear voice full of majesty, all Sand Shinobi, follow me to the front line of Konoha. Stop Konoha from saving people. The words fell, carrying the unconscious Chio, taking the lead and running towards the Konoha station. Seeing this, the rest of Sand Shinobi didn't hesitate, and as Yi Kang left, in the blink of an eye, the originally dense crowd instantly turned into the three of Luo Sha. Is the funeral finished? Hanxing smiled flatly. I must leave you today, Luo Sha said in a cold voice, and slapped the ground with both hands. The chakra on his body suddenly surged, the ground began to shake violently, and the surrounding wind and sand surged instantly. The place where Hanxing is now is in the Land of Winds. Where is the Land of Winds? Everywhere is made of sand. It can be said to be a desert country. Luo Sha is the owner of Magnet Style, and has a natural advantage in the desert area, a huge bonus. From the foot of Luo Sha, a large number of sand seas spread wildly around, leaving only the lightning area around Hanxing. Advertisement. These sand seas are different from ordinary sand seas. They're glittering with gold, as if inlaid with grains of gold. This is the magnet style of Luo Sha, with the high concentration of chakra, which is transformed into a magnetic force to attract the sand gold in the desert. These gold dusts are heavier than sand and can transform into various forms for attack and defense. Once they enter the body of a human or a puppet, they can destroy various organs directly from the inside of the human body. Magnet-style sand gold waves. The golden sand sea rises out of thin air like huge waves in the sea, rushing towards Hanxing. Fenfu and Ebizo didn't make a move, they just watched Luo Sha make a move, or pretended to be forceful. It's okay to share the blessings, but Ebizo has a delicate mind and naturally understands why Luo Sha must keep Hanxing behind. As the default 4th Hokage, Luo Sha's strength naturally goes without saying, but since he was born, he has not achieved a single achievement. Otherwise, with Luo Sha's current strength, his status would not be a candidate for 4th Hokage. The reason why he did this today is not only to give Sand Shinobi surviving in the distance a wave of prestige, so that they can see how powerful he is, but also to take a wave of merit and kill chickens as an example. Let other shinobi villages prove that their newly appointed 4th Kazekage is no worse than 3rd Kazekage. And Hanxing in the distance is the chicken in Luo Sha's hands. It's just that Ebizo has such an uneasy feeling in his heart. Will the person opposite really become the chicken in Luo Sha's hands? Facing the golden sand sea like huge waves, Hanxing sneered. With the ultra-high current of his white lightning, the gold dust in front of him was just like serving food. With a thought, the thunder field behind him turned into a huge mouth connecting the heavens and the earth. Like a gluttonous glutton, it directly swallowed the golden waves that rushed towards Hanxing. Seeing this, Luo Sha sneered, thinking that his gold dust was so easy to swallow. Advertisement. He clapped his hands, and his face changed greatly. He found that the gold dust pouring into the giant mouth of thunder and lightning seemed to disappear out of thin air, and he couldn't feel it at all. With a thought, he hurriedly returned the gold dust that had not poured into the giant mouth of the thunder, back to his side, his face gloomy as if water could drip out. Ebizo knew from Luo Sha's appearance that Luo Sha lost the fight just now. He said solemnly to the monk Fenfu, "Fenfu, let's take action. Luo Sha alone is not that person's opponent." "Okay." Fenfu monk nodded. The dark red chakra fills the body, the eyes become a pair of beast eyes, and the huge chakra waves suddenly burst out from the body. Enter the state of half-tailed beast. Although Fenfu has entered the state of half-tailed beast, his consciousness is very clear, not like Lao Zi and Khan. Although he has some consciousness, he is more violent. It can be seen from this point that both the strength of Fenfu monk and the relationship with the tailed beast are much better than Lao Zi and Khan. At this time, Ebizo quickly formed a seal with both hands, chakra surged on his body, and shouted, "Wind-style thousand-faced wind." There was a sudden violent storm around, and the hurricane rolled the sand and turned into wind blades with sand, and blasted towards Hanxing frantically. Even the monk Fenfu did not dare to show his weakness. He was transformed into a half-tailed beast and already had some other functions of a tailed beast. For example, tailed beast bomb, wind style and magnet style. The dark red palm slapped down, and the ground began to shake violently, much more violently than when Luo Sha used ninjutsu before. I saw the sand in the ground, and instantly flew out dense, black particles like mosquitoes, and finally converged and gathered together. Formed a chain of black spears. This is 3rd Kazecage's magnet-style sand iron secret art. Luo Sha looked at the ninjutsu used by the monk Fenfu, and was horrified. Chapter 152 Previous chapter Next chapter advertisement. But when he thinks of Fenfu's state at this time, Luo Sha suddenly understands that Shuhei is a tailed beast growing in the wind and sand, and it is no exaggeration to know magnet style. Crane's moves are not unusual at all. It's just that he didn't expect that monk Fenfu would actually use 3rd Kazecage's iron sand secret technique, which really shocked him. In mid-air, densely packed iron sand arrows quietly emerged. Under the control of Fenfu monk, the sand iron arrows in mid-air with strong penetrating power shot towards Hanxing not far away. These sand irons are just like alluvial gold, they can be easily decomposed and assembled, and they can also directly destroy the inside of the human body, which is extremely terrifying. Hanxing's expression didn't change, his mind moved, and the huge thunder barrier appeared again, covering him tightly. Jingle, 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 Ebizo's wind blade seemed to hit iron body, making a youthful weapon exchange sound. Immediately after that, the sand and iron arrows of the blessings fell. Hanxing waved his palm forward, and the huge lightning field instantly turned into a white Wang Yang, directly rolling the sand and iron arrows in midair. Crackle, crackle. The thunder and lightning in the white Wang Yang turned into white electric snakes, and the ultra-high electric current instantly smashed the sand and iron arrows inside, and even the slag was not left. The 3 fights seemed to be very long, but they are all completed in an instant. After the fight, the 3 of them had different expressions. Fortunately, they were wrapped in dark red chakra and couldn't see any expressions. Ebizo looked calm. After all, he had just seen Hanxing's strength, but Luo Sha, who wanted to kill chickens and show monkeys, had an extremely ugly face. Although the three of them did not join forces, it was considered an indirect alliance. I didn't expect that the three Kage levels would not even touch the person called Han at all. This is simply a great shame. Ebizo, share the blessings. Let's do it together, Luo Sha yelled. Advertisement slapped down with both hands, and a large amount of golden sand seas rise like waves. Fenfu monks are not to be outdone. The tailed beast chakra surged, and grains of black sand and iron flew out of the sand sea on the ground with the naked eye. Wrapping the golden sand sea of Luosha, it looked like she was wearing a black gauze. Ebizo was more direct, took out a scroll from his arms, shot it, and a huge iron fan appeared on the ground amid the smoke. Picking up the iron fan, Ebizo jumped up and stood on the sand and iron waves. A hand quickly formed a seal in the air, chakra suddenly surged on his body, and he shouted loudly. Wind style Itachi. Open the iron fan and swing it at Hanxing below. Hum. Hum. A huge gust of wind formed in an instant. This tornado compresses the wind attribute chakra to ultimate. It is full of compressed small wind blades. Each small wind blade can easily cut through steel. It slowly wrapped the black waves outside, forming a black tornado. The 3-in-1 rolled up the dust and sand in the sky, like a natural disaster, with the power of destroying everything, rushing towards Hanxing frantically. After Ebizo completed this bonus, his figure disappeared on the black waves in a flash. Seeing this, Hanxing did not panic at all, but instead had a sneer. The evolved Thunder Fruit can display up to 500 million volts of lightning at random. Advertisement. This ultra-high current is definitely the nemesis of sand iron and gold sand. As long as they meet, they can instantly electrify them without even slag. As for the compressed wind blade above, both are useless, and only one wind blade can do anything. A big wave. The white thunder in the thunder territory is inexorable. A thunder and lightning white dragon with a height of tens of meters suddenly burst out from inside. It has 2 horns on its head, 2 dragon whiskers fluttering in the wind. Its 5 claws are as sharp as real objects, and its scales are even more lifelike, like a real dragon wearing thunder and lightning. In the eyes, the 2 lightning-shaped eyeballs suddenly burst into light, like 2 bright pearls. The electric mons formed by the 2 strokes of thunder and lightning are like 2 lasers, hitting the black waves not far away. The white dragon recovered, roared in the sky, stepped on the thundercloud, and ran towards the black waves not far away. Seeing Hanxing's move, the expressions of Luo Sha's 3 people changed greatly. They could clearly perceive the rich chakra and violent energy from the thunder and lightning dragon. The white thunder dragon roams in the black waves, and the 5 sharp thunder and lightning giant claws catch a handful on the black waves from time to time. Outside the waves, the densely compressed wind blades, like a protector, immediately turned into countless small wind blades, attacking the thunder and lightning dragons on the periphery. Jingle, jingle, jingle. Like the sound of steel colliding, the dense compressed wind blades can only splash sparks on the white thunder dragon, and even the thunder and lightning defense on the white thunder dragon cannot be broken. After going back and forth a few times, the hurricane on the black waves gets older and smaller, until it disappears completely. The white thunder dragon is nothing at all. Seeing the surrounding wind blades disappear, the white thunder dragon is instantly wrapped in the black waves, not afraid of the black sand iron and gold sand inside. It flickered with lightning all over its body, like a bright moon, and suddenly it turned into an upside-down cuboid thunder barrier, completely wrapping the black waves inside. Advertisement. A trace of liquid like electric snakes wandered inside, shocking Luo Sha and the others. Devouring the black waves inside, in just a moment, the black waves were swallowed up by the locust like thunder and lightning, leaving no residue behind. Hanxing's thoughts moved, and the white cuboid burst out with thunder, and in the blink of an eye, he replied again as a white thunder dragon. The 3 of them rushed towards Ebizo. Luo Sha, who was amazed that his 3-man joint move was easily deciphered by Hanxing, was a little suspicious of life at this time, and he didn't react for a while. Ebizo and Monk Fenfu are old-fashioned after all, and they reacted instantly. Ebizo quickly formed a seal with both hands, chakra filled the air, waved the iron fan in his hand, and shouted, "Wind style Itachi." A compressed hurricane formed in an instant, and the whole body was filled with a strong compressed wind blade. Rolling up waves of mad sand and rushing towards the white dragon. He knows that this ferret can't stop the white dragon at all, and all Ebizo can do is delay. The main thing is the attack of the monk Fenfu next to him. I saw the half-tailed beast, with a big mouth, black and white particles finally converged, and a black sphere appeared in the mouth in the blink of an eye. It is the exclusive attack of Tailed Beast Bomb, Tailed Beast Bomb. Boom! Fenfu is like a launching cannon. The dark black-tailed beast bomb blasted towards the front windshield Thunder Dragon with a burst of air. At this time, the white Brontosaurus and Ebizo's hurricane collided without any obstacle, like paper. Chapter 153 Previous chapter Next chapter Advertisement. The white Thunder Dragon recklessly smashed the hurricane compressed to the ultimate, and dashed towards the destination with its remaining power unabated. Whoosh! Coming with a strong air-braking sound, a pitch-black chakra ball, like a black cannonball, appeared directly in front of the white dragon. The white Brontosaurus stretched out its long body, directly surrounding the tailed beast bomb, tightly surrounding it. Boom! The violent energy carried on the tailed beast bomb explodes instantly. All I could hear was a loud roar. The body of the white thunder dragon swelled abruptly, and then a dark cloud of smoke was emitted from it. There was nothing else, not even the slightest aftermath. Apart from looking a little illusory, the white Brontosaurus has nothing else. How is that possible? Luo Sha, who had recovered, cried out in horror. You must know that it is Tailed Beast Bomb, Tailed Beast Bomb. Tailed Beast Bomb's strongest trick. One shot can destroy the existence of a city. Unexpectedly, it was easily cracked by the opposite Thunder Dragon. With a single shot of Thunder Dragon, it first broke the combination of the three of them, then broke Ebizo's scythe, and then a Tailed Beast Bomb. Just a casual move is so terrifying. Luo Sha finally understands why this person can defeat Oyegi and 4 tails, 5 tails teamed up. It feels like they are not on the same level as the person in front of them. Advertisement for a time, he regretted a little, and used this person in front of him to stand out. Just do it. Don't have any regrets. Know that you are the future 4th Kage, Ebizo scolded. At this time, the second tailed beast bomb in Fenfu's mouth had also condensed, and it opened its mouth to spray the Thunder Dragon coming towards them. Whoosh! The dark black-tailed beast bomb was sent out again, and in the blink of an eye appeared in front of the white dragon 1. The white dragon stretched out its sharp thunder and lightning claws, and instantly collided with the pitch black-tailed beast bomb. Boom! As if Mars hit the Earth, a huge roar resounded in a radius of hundreds of miles. The white thunder dragon suddenly burst into a dazzling light, like a big sun, illuminating the entire ninja world. The dark black-tailed beast bomb, turned into a black pearl, is extremely powerful, and the surrounding area has an unprecedented layer of distortion. The two seem to complement each other and compete with each other, and both burst out with dazzling brilliance, dyeing the entire sky into a pair of black and white Tai Chi colors. At the center of the two, a small space began to distort at a speed visible to the naked eye, and finally returned to normal, as if the space could not bear it. On the ground, like an earth dragon turning over, a lot of sand poured down like a funnel, and the range reached a kilometer. The terrifying aftermath turned into a hurricane, rolling up the dust and sand, and spreading wildly around, like the end of the day. From the border of the land of fire and the land of wind, the densely packed ninjas of the two camps are facing each other. Advertisement: the one at the head is Chio, with Yi Kang standing next to him. On the other side of Konoha, headed by Shikuji, next to Namikaze Minato and other high-level executives. Different from Chio's side, Shikaku's expression is a little serious. Originally, they wanted to wait for Han-sama to attack Sand Shinobi, and they would take advantage of it. If possible, the battle between Konoha and Sand Shinobi will end today. Who knows? As soon as he gave the order and went out with the troops, he saw the densely packed Sand Shinobi waiting for him. First of all, he knows, like Namikaze Minato, the rising star of Sand Shinobi, the user of the boundary of blood, scorch-style Yakura. Next to it, is Chio, who fainted. The moment he saw Yi Kang, Shikaku knew that it should be Sand Shinobi's reinforcements. After fighting with Sand Shinobi for so long, The other side knows who is in the lineup. What he didn't expect was that Sand Shinobi would increase his troops at this critical point. Lu Ju doesn't know who Sand Shinobi has this time, but it is certain that this time it should be an important person. Because Shikakuzai saw a few masked Anbu in Sand Shinobi's army. If he guessed correctly, this time it should be Magnet-style Luosha, the future 4th Kazekage. Looking at this appearance, the future 4th Kazekage intends to personally take action and end this war. As a last resort, Shikaku couldn't care less about blackened Tsunade, so he directly asked Tsunade to come over. Once the command is issued, just saw the scene that shocked him. No, including all Konoha and Sand Shinobi. A huge white dragon composed of thunder and lightning, the driver thundercloud collided with what looked like a sandstorm in the distance. Advertisement I saw that Thunder Dragon had a big mouth, turned it into a long coffin, and devoured the sandstorm directly. Then continued to transform into a Thunder Dragon, soaring forward. Lord Lukyu. There were 3 powerful chakras on the sandstorm just now, Hyuga Tokugawa said respectfully with his eyes wide open as a qualified scout. Hearing Tokugawa's report, Shikahisa immediately thought of who the 3 were: Ebizo, Luo Sha, and one-tailed Jinchuriki, the monk. His face also became gloomy, and now he can only hope that Lord Han can defeat the 3 of Luo Sha. Otherwise, with Luo Sha's reinforcements, their Konoha has a high chance of losing. At this time, it is too late to ask for Konoha to increase troops. If you want to help Lord Han, you have already lost the best chance. Because of the collision in the distance just now, the comatose Chiyo wakes up. Although Chiyo is a little injured, he is also a cage-level powerhouse, and only Tsunade-sama can resist them here. The difference between cage level and Jonin is 1 level, but the strength is like a gap. Of course Namikaze Minato, who has practiced space ninjutsu, is an exception. At this moment, a pitch-black thing like a cannonball in the distant sky flew towards Thunder Dragon from a distance. This time, without Hyuga Tokugawa reporting it, Shikaku knew it was Tailed Beast Bomb. A scene that shocked him or everyone present again appeared. Thunder Dragon directly surrounded Tailed Beast Bomb, and devoured Tailed Beast Bomb with only the dragon drive. There wasn't even an aftermath, and if they hadn't heard the monstrous roar, they would have thought they were dreaming. The picture in the distance made Shikaji's heart finally let go. This kind of strength is probably comparable to first Hokage Senju Hashirama. Attention to all the ninjas of Konoha. I issued an order in the name of Konoha's deputy commander, and everyone should be optimistic about Sand Shinobi on the opposite side. Never let them run away, until the end of the battle between Tsunade-sama's fiancé and Sand Shinobi's high-level leaders in the distance until. At this moment, in order to boost morale, Lu Ju also fought hard. He didn't even want Tsunade's reputation, and moved out directly in the name of Tsunade's fiancé. Chapter 154 Previous chapter Next chapter Advertisement. When he thinks about it, the 2 of them look like that. They are not unmarried couples. At the same time, Lu Ju said this because he wanted to win Hanxing, a lonely man, to Konoha. Lu Ju had just finished shouting, and there was a somewhat depressed voice behind him. This voice made Lu Ju's scalp numb and his pores horrified. Lu Ju. What did you just say? Shikaku turned his head. Tsunade smiled behind him, his hands swayed back and forth, and a trace of black flames filled his body. She originally returned to the tent and planned to develop the antidote for Chiyo, but for some reason she couldn't concentrate, but the image just now flashed in her mind. As a last resort, Tsunade put down the antidote and used healing jutsu to heal the butt on his hands. Just after the treatment, she heard a monstrous roar in the distance, and then the tent she was living in shook for a while. Tsunade with cage-level strength instantly knew that someone was fighting. The top powerhouse was still fighting, and then I remembered what I had just said to that bastard. Tsunade was startled and muttered in a low voice, "That kid won't really go to the trouble of old lady Chiyo." I panicked for not knowing why I didn't come. I pushed open the tent and walked outside. As soon as I went out, I ran into the ninja who came to invite Tsunade to come over by order from Shikajiu. Having the same opinion as Tsunade, the 2 walked towards the door with great strides, and just after exiting the gate of the camp, they suddenly heard Lu Ju's high shouting. Tsunade, who was a little anxious at first, turned black again in an instant, and blue veins appeared on his forehead. When will my mother have a fiancé? This is what just happened. Tsunade-sama. You are here. Lu Ju turned his head and smiled shyly. Advertisement. Yeah. I'm here. Lukisa. Tell me, when did I have a fiancé? Why don't I know? Tsunade came over, patted Lukisa on the shoulder, and said with a smile. Touching the cold sweat on his forehead, Shikuku said cautiously, Master Tsunade, isn't this a stopgap measure? Is this also to reassure Konoha's ninjas? That's why. You use the reputation of the old lady to boost morale, Tsunade said. The smile on his face was even bigger, and a crack appeared on the ground where his feet stood. Obviously, Tsunade's patience has come limit. Boom. At this moment, there was a monstrous sound in the distance, which attracted the attention of the two. That is tailed beast bomb, and that one is dragon? Tsunade frowned, a little shocked and uncertain. That's right. It's Thunder Dragon and Tailed Beast Bomb, Lu Ju said solemnly. Furthermore, that Thunder Dragon appeared in the envelope of Lord Jiraiya, and used Bailei's blood to follow the limit. It's extremely powerful, it looks like it. As Lu Ju said that, he glanced at Tsunade and said, the one called Han is the one who Jiraiya said masked. Who is he fighting? Future 4th Kazekage Luosha, Ebizo and one-tailed Jinchuriki. Shikuji looked solemn. Tsunade's face froze, and there was a twitch in his heart that didn't come for some reason, and there was a hint of urgency in the sentence that even she didn't know. Why don't we help? With Sand Shinobi on the opposite side, with the strength of our Konoha, we can definitely crush it. Lu Ju shook his head and pointed to the Sand Shinobi army in front of him. Those people are the elites that Luo Sha brought from Sand Shinobi village. Although the number is small, they're definitely not weak. If we really want to fight, we will not be able to gain the upper hand. In other words, even if we want to fight, we can't end this battle for a while. We can't support Lord Han. In fact, Shikuji didn't say a word. What's the use of supporting him? They can't participate in a battle of that level. Maybe Tsunade-sama can, but if Tsunade-sama leaves, who will deal with Chio? Advertisement and you suffer from hyperphobia, strength. No solution. In the final analysis, there are too few cage-level powerhouses stationed here by Konoha. Master Tsunade. After a moment of silence, Shikaku spoke again. What? Do you know Master Han? He's wearing a mask. How does the old lady know whether he recognizes him or not? Tsunade's pretty face suddenly became frosty when he heard this. Master Han came to you today to show that he knows you. If possible, Master Tsunade must keep Master Han in Konoha. If Konoha has such a character as Master Han, he will definitely be like Shodai. Overwhelming an era, Lu Ju said solemnly. Let's talk about it. I haven't seen what he looks like yet, Tsunade said, and for some reason, there was a flash of excitement in Lujia's words in his heart. Roar. Roar. A loud roar resounded through the heavens and the earth, accompanied by a civet cat-like monster that appeared out of thin air. Ha ha ha. Uncle Ben finally came out. Loud, shocking low-end ninjas from both camps, dizzy, tinnitus and tingling. One-tail Shukaku finally appeared. Tsunade and the others looked at the behemoth in the distance with a hint of heaviness in their hearts. Don't let anything happen to you, bastard, otherwise, the old lady will never let you go. Unlike Konoha, Sand Shinobi village executives, especially Chio, showed a grim smile on the corners of their mouths. It's finally out. That person should be damned. Tonight just happened to catch Konoha. Advertisement. In the field, Hanxing looked at the appearance of one-tail Shuhei with a calm expression. Regarding the current tailed beast, Hanxing's evaluation is just the same. You are the masked man that Fenfu said, Shuhei said with a wicked smile on the cat's face full of spells. Yes. Hanxing nodded. Then let this uncle die, Shuhei roared, facing Luo Sha and Ebizo in the distance. You too, give this uncle a long way. If it weren't for the sake of sharing the blessings, this uncle would have already done something to you. Wind-style empty bullets. After Shuhei finished speaking, he took a big mouthful. A wind ball compressed to the ultimate, like a cannonball, burst into the air with bursts of sound, galloping towards Hanxing. Hanxing's face was indifferent. He waved his hand, and the thunder light filled the air, and the white thunder barrier appeared again. Boom! Compressed to the ultimate's training empty bomb, instantly appeared in front of the lightning barrier. When the two collided, the violent wind energy in the empty bomb exploded instantly. Within a radius of 100 meters, it instantly turned into a gust of wind field, and the wind blades compressed into Ultimate's indiscriminate attack, and the place where Hanxing was located was also wrapped by this gust of wind field. But no matter how the surrounding wind blades attack, it can't shake Hanxing's lightning barrier at all. It is like a high mountain, indestructible. Chapter 155 Previous chapter Next chapter Advertisement. Unable to break through Hanxing's lightning barrier, these wind blades have to expend their energy into the nearby sand. At the speed seen by the naked eye, within a radius of 100 meters, golden sand fluttered in the sky, covering the sky and the sun. The ground was like a funnel, and the surrounding sand began to pour down. The power of this empty bomb is more powerful than that of one-tail Shozuru in Konoha. I don't know how much. Hanxing sighed. This show crane is worthy of a tailed beast growing in the sand. Ha ha ha. The boy is good. You can block the wind style of Uncle Ben. I don't know how many times you can block it. Shuhei smiled grimly, took a big mouthful, and shouted, wind style empty bombing. Buzz. 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 3 consecutive empty bombs flew out of Shohei's mouth and galloped towards Hanxing. What a waste of time. Hanxing frowned and murmured. Thunder and lightning surged behind him, and a huge thunder and lightning palm protruded from it, like a giant hand covering the sky, grabbing 3 empty practice bombs in one hand. Boom. 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 3 huge roars came from the thunder giant's hands one after another, and then, bursts of black smoke came out of it, representing their existence. The series of battles between One-Tail Shuhei and Hanxing made Ebizo and Luosha look ugly again. They looked at each other and joined the fray again. Although I don't want to say that, it seems that Shuhei is no match at all. Forget it. Stop fighting. What a waste of time, Hanxing murmured. With a thought, the lightning field behind him suddenly burst into a dazzling light. In a moment, a thunder giant composed of thunder and lightning appeared in everyone's field of vision. Advertisement. This thunder giant is nothing else. It is the thunder warrior who appeared when Hanxing and 3rd Tsuchikage and others fought. The only difference is that next to the thunder giant, there is a thunder dragon with a height of more than 10 meters. It walks around the thunder giant, like a pet kept by the thunder giant. 3 billion volts. Thor is coming. Hanxing murmured. The figure jumped. Susanoo, like a complete body, jumped into the eyebrows of the thunder giant. Luo Sha and Ebizo looked at the giant thunder and lightning not far away in shock, and their hearts sank to the bottom. Don't hesitate. Let's do it. We've already fought against him, and it's not endless. At this time, he must not be allowed to leave here safely, Ebizo said solemnly. Good. Luo Sha nodded. With a big hand from Luo Sha, chakra surged wildly, and the sand sea on the ground began to shake violently. Like a giant wave, it beats towards Hanxing. Ebizo was not idle either, and wind blades in the shape of small shuriken appeared out of nowhere. At a glance, there are at least a dozen, wind-style wind blade, Ebizo yelled, panting. More than a dozen advanced versions of the wind blade. Even if he is a cage-level powerhouse, he can't bear it. Swipe in the direction of Hanxing. The whole person was sweating profusely and slumped on the ground panting, apparently reaching the limit. More than a dozen advanced versions of the wind blade flew into the air and turned into a shuriken. Both the power and the cutting have been doubled. They rotate clockwise and cut towards the Hanxing thunder giant. And Luo Sha's golden waves have appeared in front of Hanxing. His hands quickly formed a seal, and he shouted loudly. Advertisement. Magnet-style gold dust spear. As Luo Sha's cry fell, the golden waves changed instantly. The golden spears burst out of the golden waves in an instant, and then shot towards the Hanxing thunder giant. These golden yellow spears were made by Luosha condensing the gold dust, and their lethality and penetrating power were astonishing. Cut. I don't need your help yet, Shuhei sneered, taking a big mouth, and the dark particles slowly condensed in his mouth. Hanxing didn't panic. The spear in the Thunder Giant quickly waved, and directly attacked Ebizo's wind blades, sending them flying into the distance. As for the dense golden spears not far away, Hanxing ignored them. With a thought, the Thunder Giant took huge steps, and the earth shook like a mountain, running towards Shuhei. Whoosh! 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 At this time, golden spears densely packed in midair appeared in front of Hanxing's eyes. At the moment of its approach, the white thunder dragon on the Thunder Giant suddenly sprang out. The lightning flashed on it, and the dazzling turned into a huge picture, directly wrapping all the gold dust spears in the air, and then being swallowed by the lightning inside. After swallowing these gold dust spears, the picture of thunder and lightning floated towards the golden waves in the distance. Here, Shukaku's tailed beast bomb is almost finished. A tailed beast bomb, twice the size of the previous one, appeared in Shukaku's mouth. Boom! The void trembled. The huge tailed beast bomb galloped towards Hanxing with the sound of billowing air. Advertisement lightning flashes on the white spear, as bright as a pearl. The Thunder Giant is a throw to the tailed beast bomb flying in the distance. The huge spear, like a laser, with unparalleled power, like a descendant shooting the sun, directly pierces the tailed beast bomb flying from the opposite side. Boom! The tailed beast in midair suddenly made an earth-shattering roar. The sky was instantly blocked by a dark energy, making the originally bright sky instantly dimmed. The dark black energy is like a black pearl, bursting with dazzling light, spreading wildly around. The violent energy swept through the air, and the clouds not far away were directly destroyed by this energy. The gust of wind swept through, and even from below, you could feel the raging gust of wind. As the dark black energy became bigger and bigger, the whole sky seemed to be wearing a black gauze, as if the night had come early. Hanxing glanced at the air and continued to walk towards Shuhei. It was none of his business anyway. Not far away, the lightning scroll transformed by the Thunder Dragon also appeared in front of the golden waves. When I saw the picture scroll, it instantly turned into a cylindrical enchantment dozens of meters in size, directly wrapping the golden waves completely. In the thunder barrier, thunder light flickered, and white electric snakes swam out like ants, swallowing the golden waves in front of them. In Luo Sha's shocked expression, in just a moment, the golden sand sea more than 10 meters high was directly swallowed by the thunder and lightning cylinder transformed by the Thunder Dragon. Roar! After swallowing the golden waves, the huge thunderbolt cylinder erupted with dazzling thunder again, returning to a white Thunder Dragon. The white Thunder Dragon driver, Thunderbolt, rushed towards the Thunderbolt Giant, without even looking at Luo Sha and the two in the distance. Chapter 156 Previous chapter Next chapter Advertisement. This is gone. Me? I will ignore it now? Luo Sha felt a little unwilling. Ebizo sighed. He knew. This war has been resolved. Those white thunder to Luosha's gold dust. No, it is a huge suppression of all metal substances. On weekdays, the extremely lethal gold dust is like delivering food in front of Baile opposite. People can eat as much as they want. Ah, it hurts. It hurts. Shuhei shouted loudly in the distance. When Ebizo saw it, Shuhei was besieged by the thunder long coffin transformed by the Thunder Giant, and the white electric current inside was like liquid, constantly flowing out of the thunder long coffin. For a time, the entire Shuhei body was covered with lightning, as if covered with a layer of lightning gauze. But you can tell from the sound of a crane killing a pig inside, it's not. Shuhei used every means to turn into a beach of sand and wanted to leave, but the surrounding thunder and lightning coffin was itself a thunder and lightning enchantment, like an iron barrel. No matter how the sand that Shuhei turned into flows, it will not flow out. Seeing this, Ebizo knew that Shuhei would also be defeated. In midair, Hanxing looked at Shuhei, who had reincarnated into his body, and said in a flat tone, "Shuhei, don't waste your time, you can't escape." "Damn it. It hurts. It hurts." Shuhei shouted, "Damn bastard, how could that kid's thunder and lightning make this uncle hurt so much? Not only that, those white thunder and lightning are still devouring the metal in his body. This kind of devouring is nothing, it is originally a condensed chakra, there is no entity, death is not dead. But the key white thunder and lightning, it is in pain. This kind of taste, It has not experienced the crane since its birth. Advertisement. No way. No way. This uncle can't bear it anymore, Shuhei shouted, and the black beast's eyes flashed. A big mouth, rich black and white particles converge in its mouth. The black-tailed beast bomb is instantly done. I don't believe it, your thunder and lightning barrier can block my barrier. Boom. A huge roar sounded in the white long coffin. The white long coffin is like a barrier between heaven and earth. For the exploding tailed beast bomb, it was silent after only a little shaking. Damn it, bastard! Shuhei shouted as he saw half of his body being swallowed up by the tailed beast bomb, and the bright beast eyes began to dim. The sand on the body began to slowly disperse, and a comatose old man flowed out of the sand. Seeing the old man, Hanxing knew that Shuhei had successfully returned to Fenfu's body. With a thought, all the white thunder and lightning around him disappeared silently, leaving behind only the dark ground beneath the sand. Hanxing carried the blessing and appeared beside Ebizo and Luo Sha. Are you still fighting? The future fourth Hokage? Hanxing said indifferently. I'm thinking about who can kill these 4 people from Sand Shinobi. One-tailed Jinchuriki must not die. What if he dies? Gaara? Chio can't die. Shippuden has to save Gaara. Fourth Hokage Luo Sha seems to be unable to die. He does not know whether Gaara is born or not, and in the future, Gaara will become Jinchuriki and will have to be sealed by Luo Sha. Advertisement. As for Ebizo, I remember that it appeared once in the original work, and I didn't ask about the world at that time. And after the Third World War, it seems that this guy is aged in Sand Shinobi Village, no matter what happens in Sand Shinobi Village. Besides, if he kills him now, there is no guarantee that the violent Shio will do anything. If there is a chain reaction of returning to the original time and space, leading to the departure from the original work, then he will no longer have the heart to cry. In this case, none of these Sand Shinobi executives can be killed. For a time, Hanxing was extremely depressed. After fighting for a long time, I killed some unimportant little bastards. This time travel of myself is really a big failure, and I am afraid of the head and tail, and no one can kill it. Ebizo saw Hanxing, looked at him for a while, and looked at Luo Sha again. His eyes flickered, and he knew that Hanxing wanted to kill them, and quickly shouted, "We admit defeat. Admit defeat." Next to him, Luo Sha had an ugly face, but he didn't refute. Who made them inferior to others? They couldn't beat 3-1. Well, since you admit defeat, that's all, Hanxing said, leaving the Fenfu monk still on the ground, and his figure disappeared in a flash. On the border between the land of fire and the land of wind, the 2 sides are ready to fight. Looking at the battle in the distance, different from Sand Shinobi, Konoha has a happy expression on his face. From the battle just now, fools know who won. I didn't expect it. Master Han's strength is as powerful as the information said, and I don't know what Master Han looks like. If it is possible, I can let my Nara clan marry Master Han. It's a pity that Master Han is so outstanding, missing girls to chase. Although Shikaku said so, he turned his eyes and looked at Tsunade not far away, trying to try Tsunade's reaction. Cough cough. Lu Ju. Let my family members, as far as I know, your family doesn't seem to have any good-looking clan members this year. Our clan is different. There are several people who are to be married, and each of them is virtuous and beautiful. Knowing the book and being reasonable, she is definitely a good candidate to be a daughter-in-law. Advertisement. Yamanaka Kaiichi, who knew what Shikahisa meant, immediately cooperated and joked. In fact, what the 2 of them said is also true. The women of the big family are involuntarily, and the strength is good. The weak are basically unable to control their marriage, especially during the war. Nara Shikahisa said that, firstly, he tried Tsunade's reaction, and secondly, he really wanted to marry Hanxing. Of course, the premise of these still depends on Hanxing's reaction, and Lu Ju probably won't play. Next to it, there was a hint of envy in the old red eyes, but unfortunately, their family members are few, otherwise, they would have to participate. Tsunade was inexplicably agitated when he listened to the conversation between Shikaku and the others, and with a slight force, the ground collapsed suddenly. Lu Ju and Hai Yi, who were behind them, saw this. A cold sweat appeared on their faces, and they shut up immediately. Seeing Tsunade's reaction, Lu Ju already has the answer in his heart. Crackle. Crackle. Suddenly, a screeching arc of electric arc resounded around, and a figure covered by lightning suddenly appeared in front of Tsunade. It's you, bastard. Tsunade's heart was relieved, and Bai Nen's fist slammed directly at Hanxing. Snapped. Hanxing stretched out his hand and used to catch it. Boom. With the two at the center, the ground quickly cracked and large chunks of soil rose out of thin air. The cracks of the spider web bar spread all around, and the huge aftermath turned into gusts of wind, sweeping towards the surroundings. Chapter 157 Previous chapter Next chapter Advertisement. Gum. Lu Ju and Hai stared at this scene dumbfounded. He felt that he should let go of the thoughts in his heart just now. Give me such a welcome gift as soon as you come. You can really do it with your character. Hanxing clenched Tsunade's tender fist, and there was a hint of a smile in his speech. Humph. Judging from your appearance, Sand Shinobi's side should be defeated. Tsunade snorted coldly. Indeed, they were defeated. All the things I promised you have been completed. I hope you can also agree to my conditions. Your conditions? What conditions, Master Han? Is it your marriage with Master Tsunade? The high-level leaders headed by Lu Ju walked over and said with a smile. You think too much. Hanxing shook his head. Your conditions? What are your conditions? Tsunade frowned, wondering. Hanxing. Knowing that you have thick nerves, I didn't expect such thick nerves. Hanxing had the urge to vomit blood. Emotions lousy has been busy for so long, and it's all in vain. For a time, if it wasn't for the existence of Lu Ju and others, Hanxing would want to grab Tsunade and do it again. As a last resort, Hanxing gritted his teeth and said bitterly. Just as he was about to speak, he saw a sly smile in the corner of Tsunade's eyes. He knew that he was brushed by Tsunade. Regardless of the reappearance of Shikuju and others, he picked up Tsunade and disappeared in place. Advertisement. This? Let's go now, Yuri, who was watching the excitement, said with some regret. Everyone rolled their eyes, ignoring this stuffy bastard. From the Sand Shinobi camp in the distance, Luo Sha carries the blessing, and Ebizo walks towards Chio. All the Sand Shinobi along the way automatically made way for the two of them, with a hint of sadness on their faces, and the result is not difficult to guess. Lord Luo Sha. Lord Ebizo. Luo Sha and Ebizo walked in front of Chio. Yi Kang bowed and said, and automatically carried Luo Sha's blessing to himself. Mother-in-law Chio. The three of us are defeated. Let's sign a contract with Konoha in a few days. Luo Sha said in frustration. You? The three of you together are not his opponents? Chio couldn't believe it, although she already had the answer in her heart, she still wanted to ask. This was not only what she wanted to ask, but even Sand Shinobi behind her wanted to ask, so after the question of Chio Taishu, all Sand Shinobi's ears perked up, wanting to listen to Luo Sha's explanation. His Bai Lei has natural restraint on Luo Sha's gold dust, as well as metal materials such as sand iron. Luo Sha's strength against him has a huge suppression, and even half of his usual strength can't be exerted. Luo Sha without speaking, Ebizo directly opened his mouth to explain. Time is also fate. That person was sent by God to save Konoha's side. Let's surrender. With him, Sand Shinobi can't win. After a pause, Ebizo said solemnly. Chio clenched his fists tightly, his body trembled, and his heart was full of unwillingness, but what if he was unwilling? Just like the opposite, Sand Shinobi could hang and beat them all. After a while, Chio's tense body suddenly relaxed, and the whole person seemed to be much older. She sighed, that's it, just surrender. Then he turned his head to look at Luo Sha. After signing the armistice agreement with Konoha, you can go back to the village for the 4th Cage ceremony. In the future, I will no longer ask Sand Shinobi about everything. Advertisement. Got it. Granny Chio. Luo Sha was overjoyed. On the border of the Fire Nation, in a forest about 10 miles away from where Lu Ju and others were stationed. A woman's scolding came from here. You bastard, don't you just forget something? Why do you keep hitting me on the buttocks? Behind him, Hanxing ignored it and said, isn't this something I forgot? How long has it been since I told you about it? Shouldn't it be more than half an hour? In less than half an hour, You have completely forgotten about this matter. Your brain's IQ is growing in your chest. Hanxing said here, getting more and more angry, and hit Tsunade. The slap is getting heavier. That's right, from the battle between Hanxing and Chio, the battle against Luo Sha, Fenfu, and so on, it seems to be a long battle, but in fact this battle does not even take half an hour. In half an hour, Hanxing beat Sand Shinobi and other high-level executives violently, and also showed the strength of Hanxing from the side. Enough! My mother forgot, didn't you take it seriously? Tsunade gritted his teeth. His face was full of anger. If he hadn't been able to beat you, my mother would have already done it. Take pity on my ass, it's just been healed with healing jutsu, and now it's suffering, damn it bastard. After playing for a while, and feeling Tsunade's buttocks swell a little, Hanxing stopped and used healing jutsu to heal him. Tsunade, who was feeling the most burning pain in her back, suddenly felt a chill. She turned her head and saw that Hanxing was treating her with healing jutsu. Tsunade frowned and shouted, "You bastard can still healing jutsu? What else can you not?" Advertisement. As for Hanxing's treatment of her buttocks, she was automatically forgotten by her long ago. After so many beatings, why would he let him take advantage of it? Anyway, her reputation in this life has been completely ruined by this person. Hanxing does not speak, concentrates on treatment, and is full of high cold demeanor. After a while, after feeling the swelling on Tsunade's body disappear, he retracted his palm. How does it feel? Okay. Tsunade said angrily, as if Hanxing had paid Tsunade how much money. That's all you want from me? Just let Xingnan village come to me if you have something to do? No other extras? At this time, Tsunade raised the question in his heart. Just because of such a small request from Xingnan village, the person called Han helped him beat Sand Shinobi's top management. Although Tsunade has no brains, she also knows that the next thing waiting for Sand Shinobi village is surrender. She really can't believe what happened today. It's like a dream. No, didn't I tell you? We have a special relationship. I can only find you in today's ninja world, Hanxing said helplessly. A special relationship with me? Tsunade froze for a moment, his face turning a little red. Hanxing Tsunade's appearance. I knew Tsunade was wrong, and quickly said, "It's not what you think." "It's not what I thought." "What is that?" "You tell the old lady." At this point, Tsunade clenched his silver teeth tightly, and behind him, a trace of black flames appeared, as if he was about to enter the blackened state. Chapter 158. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Taking advantage of the old lady, and indirectly ruining the reputation of the old lady. You actually said that it is not what the old lady thinks. Am I really a random person when I am the old lady? If you don't tell a truth, the old lady can't beat you. Bite it. I will also bite a piece of meat from you. He stood up, facing Hanxing, moving his wrists with both hands, smiling sweetly. Alas! Hanxing sighed. He knew that if he didn't come up with some good evidence today, Tsunade would definitely go crazy. If I had known earlier, I wouldn't be so indebted. What would I do to spank Tsunade's ass? Come here. Show you. Hanxing greeted Tsunade with one hand and walked to a small flower that was about to wither around him. What are you doing? Tsunade didn't understand the meaning of shyness. Just look at it. Hanxing put a forefinger on the withered flower, and the rich life energy poured into it. I saw a little flower that was already withered, and it instantly revived and became like a newborn flower in the blink of an eye, blooming with its own brilliance. This rich vitality. Are you a member of the Senju clan? Tsunade was shocked and lost his voice. Advertisement. That's it. Seeing Hanxing without denying it, Tsunade was so excited that he forgot Hanxing and stuffed it in front of him. Hanxing. How come the future and the past are the same, and they both like to stuff them into their arms? After a while, Tsunade let go of Hanxing, and said with a smile. This smile was completely different from before. It was Tsunade's inner smile. Are you from the Senju clan? No. What about me? How to say it's special? You just need to know that I'm from the Senju tribe. Hanxing pondered. I felt the strong breath of life flowing in your body before, but at first I thought I felt wrong, but it turned out to be true. If you had told me before that you were a member of the Senju clan, I would definitely promise you this small request, Tsunade said flatly. Forget it. It's over. Hanxing shook his head and said solemnly, I hope you don't tell anyone about my identity, including Yuan Fei Hiruzen. Why? Tsunade wondered, paused and said anxiously, you may not know the current state of our Senju clan. Since the Second World War, our Senju clan has drastically decreased, and now, there are no more than 20 of them. Most of them are old people, children, 4 or 5-year-old children, basically 2 or 3. If you go back, you will surely make our Senju family return to glory. Why should I go back? Kill Yuan Fei Hiruzen? Hanxing sneered. What are you talking about? Why did you kill Mr. Yuan Fei? Tsunade was stunned, and quickly covered Hanxing's mouth. You already guessed it in your heart, didn't you? Hanxing continued without looking at Tsunade's face. Why did the Senju clan disappear? The fundamental reason is that the prestige of the Senju clan is too high in Konoha. Advertisement, how high is it? You should know that Konoha doesn't know who Hokage is. But you must know where the Senju family lives. Yuan Fei Hiruzen, as the current ruler of Konoha, what do you think he would think? To put it in a bad way, what would happen if the Senju clan rebelled? This is the reason why the power is high. The prestige of the Senju family is too high, and it has seriously affected the rule of Yuan Fei Hiruzen. How can he rule Konoha with peace of mind if he does not secretly destroy the Senju family? These words of Hanxing made Tsunade's body tremble, and the whole person instantly became silent, and tears flowed down unconsciously. Tsunade didn't want to understand these truths until World War II, but she didn't want to admit it. Now, Hanxing broke it out in one sentence, and she was just thinking about it. Not only that, Hanxing didn't hesitate to say, if I expected it right, after signing the armistice agreement with Sand Shinobi, it is estimated that the last few men of the Senju clan will also die inexplicably. Impossible. Impossible. Teacher Yuanfei wouldn't be so cruel. Tsunade shook his head frantically. Yuan Fei may not, but his good friend, Danzo, will definitely do it. When the time comes, send a few ninjas from the roots to pretend to be spies from other villages, and then Enbu from Yuan Fei arrives and kills these spies on the spot. After a few dead members, it's a good deal for the Senju clan to inherit and die. Hanxing's voice, like a knife, stabbed into Tsunade's heart mercilessly, making her heartache out of breath. Enough. Don't say more, Tsunade cried out in dismay. Hanxing shook his head and reached out to take Tsunade into his arms. Patting Tsunade's trembling body, he said, okay. Don't cry. What I said is right or wrong. You already have the answer in your heart, don't you? Advertisement. Right. What's going on here in the Sand Shinobi battlefield? The opponent clearly has 2 cage-level powerhouses. Why did Konoha only send you alone? You are in this state, with hyperphobia, and you are a waste on the battlefield. What did ye think? Hanxing changed the subject. Actually, Orochimaru and I were originally sent by Konoha, and Orochimaru was also the commander here. Just 3 days ago, Mr. Yuan Fei sent a letter saying that there was a change in Cloud Shinobi village, and asked Orochimaru to go to the border to garrison, saying that this time when the food was transported, we'll send a strong support here. If I guessed correctly, it should be Minato, Tsunade pondered. Haha. Although Namikaze Minato has learned the Flying Thunder God technique, he can be considered to be able to compete with cage-level powerhouses twice. After he is proficient in Flying Thunder God, even cage-level powerhouses will not be afraid. Hanxing sneered and changed his voice. It's just Yuan Fei Hiruzen who asked Orochimaru to go to the Cloud Shinobi border to prevent Cloud Shinobi from attacking Konoha. Do you believe this? Now, the Cloud Shinobi village 3rd cage has just been consumed by Onogi, and the 4th Raikage has not yet taken the position. He will not attack Konoha in a short time. Even if he wants to attack, he will have to wait for the 4th Raikage to take the position. Then, what do you mean by that? Tsunade wondered. Forget it. You still don't want to know. Hanxing shook his head and didn't say anything. I am afraid that Orochimaru's departure is definitely not the order of Yuan Fei Hiruzen, but Danzo's own order, and Yuan Fei Hiruzen is silent, neither supporting nor opposing. That's true. When the time comes, Tsunade fights Chiyo and others. Namikaze Minato entangles Ebizo. Tsunade fights Chiyo. At this time, Tsunade had a panic attack, and there were only 2 words waiting for Tsunade. Cool. This Yuan Fei Hiruzen is really ruthless, for his own rights, even his own apprentices are not spared. A cold light flashed in Hanxing's eyes. He had already made up his mind. When he left, he must give Yuan Fei Hiruzen a great gift. Chapter 159 Previous chapter Next chapter Advertisement. By the way, do you know Kato Dan? Hanxing asked again. He remembered that Kato Dan was Tsunade's lover in the original book, but when he asked Shizune to talk to him last time, Shizune said no, which made him puzzled. A chain reaction occurred. This is also not right. When was Hanxing born? Kato Dan was born during World War II. The two are not in the same era at all. After thinking about it, Hanxing still wanted to clarify the period, otherwise, he would always feel a little uncomfortable. Kato Dan? Do you know? I know this person, and I have a good impression? Tsunade thought for a while. During World War II, I proposed to 3rd Hokage that each team should cooperate with a medical ninja. When the proposal was made, the audience disagreed. Only he agreed, and then he died. It's a pity. That's it? Are you in a bad relationship? What's good? That kid followed me for a while, and later confessed to me, and the old lady beat him up with one punch. By the way, I don't like people who are weaker than me, and I haven't seen each other since then. Why are you so sad about the old lady's affairs? Tsunade said in a slightly moved voice. Just wanted to clarify. I have something to do with Kato Dan. Hanxing shook his head and lied, blushing and heartbeat. What do I say? Why do you ask this all of a sudden? Don't talk about it. Talk about the business, Hanxing said sternly. What's your business? Tsunade pouted. It's very strange that Luo Sha brought people here. When he came, he told Shio that it was the village Anbu who suddenly got a piece of information. That is the news that I'm going this way. There is a detailed analysis of my strength above, and finally, it is stated that I am here to destroy the frontline troops of the Land of Wind. Therefore, Luo Sha hastily brought people here. Hanxing's face was serious. Advertisement? What's wrong? Isn't your information very normal? Tsunade wondered. Hee. I was born out of thin air, and the ninja world doesn't have a lot of information about me, except for Rock Shinobi, which is Jiraiya. After I had a fight with Onogi, I just disappeared. Rock Shinobi didn't even know where I was. In those few days, I saw a person. No, it should be an organization, Hanxing said coldly. Who? Root. Shimura Danzo. Hanxing said word by word, the killing intent of his words undisguised. Danzo? What is that old thing looking for you for? Tsunade frowned instantly. Find me to cooperate. I didn't agree. By the way, I killed most of the roots he brought. With Danzo's old-fashioned character, it will definitely make some noise. You know him so well? Let's go. Go and ask and you'll know. Hanxing said, hugging Tsunade, and instantly disappeared in place. The Land of Wind and the Land of Fire on both sides of the border. On a makeshift conference table, Nara Shikahisa looked at the 4 Sand Shinobi executives across from him, sweating profusely. Originally, in the war between the two countries, after the defeated country should send envoys to the victorious country to find high-level officials and negotiate compensation matters. In other words, Sand Shinobi is going to send an envoy, Konoha, to negotiate with their Hokage high-level officials. Advertisement can. Who knows that Sand Shinobi village, playing cards so unreasonably, doesn't look like a defeated country at all. Get a table directly on the spot and discuss compensation matters. How could the deputy commander of the front line, Lu Ju, make a decision on such a big thing? And it must be too late to inform Konoha, but Tsunade was taken away by Master Han again. He and Hai and other high-level executives were under great pressure to be watched by Chio and other 3 cage levels plus a Yi Kang. Mother Chio, you need to know that your Sand Shinobi village is now a defeated country. We have to follow the procedure. You should send messengers to talk to our Konoha 3rd Hokage-sama on these matters. Joke. If it's really your Konoha who beat us, we recognize it. It must follow the process, but the question is, did your Konoha beat us? Today we are negotiating with you here, and we still look at the person named Han, Chio said with an ugly face. That's not right. Lord Han is now the fiancé of our Konoha Princess Tsunade Haim. Why can't he be considered Konoha's person? Nara Shikahisa retorted. Really? You asked him to personally say that it was your Konoha, and we'll follow the process. Shio was not afraid at all. From when Hanxing fought her, she remembered what Han said, that she owes Tsunade a favor. In other words, Han is nothing more than a chance for Tsunade to trade favors. The information on Sand Shinobi also shows that Han is an outsider who does not belong to the 5 great ninja villages. This is also the reason why Chiyo didn't play cards according to common sense this time. For a while, Lu Ju was a little silent, because Chiyo's words touched the soft spot in their hearts. Don't look at them calling Mr. Han, it was kind. Advertisement. In fact, it's not because of Han's powerful strength that he wants to pull Han into the Konoha camp. For this reason, Lukisa does not want Tsunade's reputation. But up to now, they are not sure whether Han will join them Konoha. Also, Shio is right, the reason why Sand Shinobi was defeated was not because of Konoha, but because of Han. Stop talking. 10 million taels of money, 500 bags of food, and 100 detonation charms. If you want to love it or not, just keep fighting, Shio sneered again and again. When Lu Ju heard Shio's report, his face turned a little red with anger. This thing, you Sand Shinobi are sending beggars. Only these materials are not enough for our Konoha frontline troops, they will be consumed in a week. Not only Lu Ju and the others were angry, but even the senior officials such as Hai Yi behind him looked extremely ugly. Lord Luosha. Is this what you mean too? Lu Ju panted. The corners of Luosha's mouth twitched, and his face was a little unsightly or embarrassing. He didn't expect Chiyo's mother-in-law to be so cruel. It didn't feel like compensation for defeat in the war, but more like, there are too many things, and still go and feed the dogs. With a calm expression on his face, he said with a calm expression, our Sand Shinobi negotiation is all handed over to Granny Chiyo, the 3 of us are here to support the scene. After speaking, he closed his eyes quickly, a little embarrassed, for fear that he would laugh. Hoo-hoo. Taking a few deep breaths, Lu Ju suppressed the anger in his heart and said with a livid face, Sand Shinobi. You guys are deceiving people too much. Too deceiving. Don't think that we don't know that Han is your Konoha's person? Also Tsunade's fiancé. You Konoha will do anything to win over Han. Chiyo Yin and Yang said strangely. Chapter 160 Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. We can't accept what you have given us. There is no sincerity at all, otherwise we can only send Master Tsunade to negotiate with you personally, Lu Ju said coldly. Then let that violent girl come. Chiyo was not afraid at all. After a pause, he said, the old man still said that, as long as you let Han admit that he is from your Konoha, the process can go as it should, otherwise, the compensation will be like this. It's not good to say that, that's all, it's because you Konoha betrayed Tsunade's reputation. Chiyo sneered again and again. The sarcasm in his words was undisguised. You? Lu Ju pointed at Chiyo, and was speechless in anger. Yo! What are you doing? A thunder and lightning sounded, and Hanxing appeared at the negotiating table with Tsunade in his arms. The moment he saw Hanxing, Lu Ju looked happy, while Chiyo's face was a little awkward. Master Han. Master Tsunade. You came just in time. Sand Shinobi Village, as the loser, will pay Konoha 10 million taels, 500 bags of food and 100 detonating charms. Isn't this a beggar? Lukisa be the first to complain. When he said this, he used a small trick. As long as Hanxing didn't find it, it would prove from the side that Hanxing had agreed to join Konoha. But is Hanxing that kind of person? During the Second and Third World Wars, he didn't have any affection for Konoha Yinpu F4 at all, not to mention that he has now awakened to Sage Body and is a member of the Senju clan. You must know that the Senju clan was indirectly destroyed by Yuan Fei and Hiruzen, and they are considered Hanxing's clan annihilation enemies. Advertisement. Not to mention that he came through time and space, even if not, he would not join Konoha, after all, he might be killed by Yuan Fei Hiruzen. Therefore, after Lu Ju finished saying this, Hanxing interrupted without hesitation, we Konoha, you are not using the word we correctly, I'm not from Konoha. Haha, Master Han, you are joking. You and Master Tsunade are like this. Isn't it my Konoha? Lu Ju didn't give up. What about me and Tsunade is our business, it doesn't seem to have much to do with Konoha, Hanxing sneered. Hearing Hanxing's words, the happiest thing was Chiyo, who was on the opposite side. Originally, when Hanxing appeared, she was still so nervous, but now, there is no more. Hanxing's words made Lu Ju and the others unable to step down directly, making Lu Ju and the other high-level officials look extremely ugly. Hanxing didn't care about it. For Lu Ju and the others in this era, he didn't know him, he was like a stranger, and there was nothing to worry about, but if they were in danger, Hanxing didn't mind shooting. Shikajiu and the others had no choice but to turn their attention to Tsunade, hoping that Tsunade would say something. Tsunade didn't like what Hanxing said today, and now Konoha, no, he didn't like Yuan Fei, Hiruzen and others, and even had the idea of leaving Konoha, so he shook his head slightly, expressing his incompetence. Regardless of Lu Ju and the others, Hanxing turned his head and said to Chiyo and other high-level officials, 10 million taels, 500 bags of food, and 100 detonating charms. You sand shinobi are really generous. As soon as Hanxing's words fell, Chiyo's changed mood instantly began to drop. On the other hand, Lu Ju and others, the depression in their hearts was swept away, their eyes were full of anticipation, and they thought to themselves, Master Han said that he was not Konoha, but his heart was towards us. Then what do you mean? Chiyo said with an ugly expression. Advertisement. Just get rid of all zeros, Hanxing said flatly. Okay. I promise you. Chiyoichi gritted his teeth. Just after she finished speaking, she suddenly recalled what Hanxing said just now. Remove all the zeros, that means 1 tael of money tickets, 5 bags of food, and a detonating charm. Chiyo's eyes widened immediately, and some did not believe it, and asked again, are you serious? Remove all zeros? Yes. Hanxing nodded. Master Han, in this case, our Konoha will lose something, and we will lose a lot of manpower and materials. Namikaze Minato spoke first, apparently already knowing what Hanxing meant. What does it have to do with me that Konoha can't get the supplies? Also, it looks like it was me who defeated Sand Shinobi, so it has nothing to do with you Konoha. You guys just stood here for a long time, just wanting to get or grab the fruits of my victory? Hanxing sneered. Then, what does Master Han mean? Lu Ju's face darkened. He is not a fool, and now he can see that Han has no affection for Konoha. It's very simple. You want Sand Shinobi supplies, go and fight Sand Shinobi again. Isn't this Sand Shinobi all there? Come to a duel, and if you win, let Sand Shinobi give you the supplies. Hanxing not at all polite. Hanxing's words made the eyes of Chiyo and other high-level officials light up. Although Hanxing destroyed most of their Sand Shinobi frontline troops, no matter what, Han was alone and their biggest opponent was Konoha. Advertisement now, for whatever reason, helping them Sand Shinobi, Chiyo is naturally ecstatic and laughs. Master Han is right. If you Konoha want to fight, we Sand Shinobi will accompany you to the end. If we can, let's start now. Let's see who wins and who loses. When Chiyo said this again, he was very confident. After all, Sand Shinobi has reinforcements from Luosha, and there are 4 cage levels alone. On the other hand, Konoha, in addition to 1 Tsunade, Namikaze Minato is half. Plus half of the evening sun is really red, regardless of how few they are, they can still hang the opposite Konoha. Don't look at me. I met him for the first time today, and we didn't have a good relationship. He beat Sand Shinobi's top management violently, and it was a deal between me and him, and I couldn't order him. Tsunade spread his hands and shook his head slightly. I can't decide this matter, I have to report to Lord Hokage. Lu Ju said with an ugly face. After fighting for a month, so many people died, and in the end they didn't get anything. You can imagine the mood of Lu Ju and others at the top. With you. I'll get out of here today. Hanxing shook his head slightly. Master Han won't stay for a few days. Lu Ju panicked. I'm not interested. Hanxing turned his head and looked at Luo Sha. You came here saying that you received information, and that information can tell us in detail. Luo Sha was a little puzzled, but still took out a small note from his pocket and handed it to Hanxing, saying, it's a little strange to say. Someone beat an Anbu in our Sand Shinobi village. When that Anbu woke up, this note is in his hand. Chapter 161 Previous chapter Next chapter Advertisement. Hanxing took it. Handed it to Tsunade. No, look at this information and see if you recognize it. Where do you seem to have seen this information? Tsunade frowned. That's right. Tsunade snapped his head. Isn't this the information that Lu Ju just showed me? Isn't this sent by Mr. Yuan Fei? Shiku. Look at you too, Tsunade said, handing the note to Lukisa. The moment he heard Hanxing's information, Lu Ju had a bad premonition in his heart, but when he saw the content on the note, his heart sank to a low point. He could see the contents of this note clearly. He shouldn't remember it clearly. After all, a strong man like First Hokage suddenly appeared in the ninja world. How could he not care? The only difference is that one was given by Lord Hokage, and the other was given by Luo Sha. There is another difference. There is an extra sentence in this note, that is, Hanxing may come to the Kingdom of Wind and destroy it. Sand Shinobi Frontline Force. Seeing this, Lu Ju immediately felt dissatisfied with cold sweat on his forehead, and his hands became trembling. This information, needless to say, came from Konoha. What made him a little ridiculous was that they fought desperately on the front line, but at the rear, they had already handed over the information to the enemy. The person who delivered the information never thought about it. If Hanxing did not destroy the frontline troops of the Kingdom of Wind, then Luo Sha would increase his troops. What would happen to all the troops in Konoha here? There is a high chance that the entire army will be wiped out. This is no longer to pass information, but to indirectly kill all of them here. Thinking of this, Lu Ju's face turned blue. Advertisement. However, based on what he knew about Third Hokage, this matter was by no means passed on by Third Hokage. He didn't know who it was, but it was definitely Konoha executives. At the same time, Lu Ju cursed inwardly. This idiot, can't you change the information a little bit? Look at all of you. Lu Ju passed the note to all the surrounding Konoha executives expressionlessly. Everyone who has read the information given by Yuan Fei Hiruzen is naturally clear that the content of this information is true, and Namikaze Minato is the most shocked, because the content of this information is exactly the same as that written by Mr. Jiraiya. Being able to be a high-level executive here, although the IQ is not as good as that of Lukisa, but Tsunade is also much normal, and in an instant, he thought of the energy problem that Lukisa had just thought about. For a time, the face of the senior Konoha headed by Shikaku was pitch black. Chio is happy to see this. This is the Konoha tradition. Is it wrong in the nest? Third Hokage should not know about this information. After a moment of silence, Lu Ju said solemnly. Yuan Fei Hiruzen may not know, but it must have been spread by the senior officials of Konoha. After all, such detailed information is much more detailed than our Sand Shinobi information, Ebizo added with a smile. He is an intelligence man, and he is naturally clear about the intelligence that Sand Shinobi collected about Hanxing. Now, although they are defeated countries, but without war compensation, he is in a much better mood. As for the 1 tael of silver, 5 bags of grain, and a detonating talisman, they were supposed to send wild dogs, and they could still afford these things. No, to be precise, it's not a defeated country. All this is waiting for Han in front of him to decide. He's going to leave, no matter here, then wait for their crazy revenge from Sand Shinobi. Advertisement. If he manages it, it's nothing, that little material, although Sand Shinobi is big, they can still take it out. Everything has to be decided by the cold. Ebizo's words were like a knife to cut Lu Ju and others speechless, because of what Ebizo said. I don't know, when will you leave here, Lord Han? Luo Sha exited at this time, and he directly asked respectfully without disregarding the title of 4th Kazekage in the future. His mood fluctuated today, which can be said to be the most in these days. He originally thought that Sand Shinobi would be compensated for his defeat, but he did not expect such a big shocking reversal. At this moment, he really wanted to shout out that the senior Konoha who passed the information did a good job. What a pig teammate. Hearing Luo Sha's question, everyone turned their eyes to Hanxing. Hanxing's eyes narrowed slightly. If it was just doubts before, it is now certain. Do whatever you have to do. I'll go first if I have something to do, Hanxing murmured, then his voice changed. However, for these high-level officials of Konoha, don't move, the rest is easy. Hanxing's words directly made the hearts of Lu Ju and the others sank, and their hearts roared wildly, scolding their mother. Which idiot's high-level information has been sent out? The situation of winning is guaranteed, but now, it has been reversed. Don't worry, Lord Hanxing. These high-level officials of Konoha won't move, but those ordinary ninjas behind them. Shio also let go of his dignity at this time, and fought for revenge. It has nothing to do with me, Hanxing said coldly. Come with me, Hanxing said, pulling Tsunade's wrist and disappearing into place. Advertisement. After Hanxing left with Tsunade, Shio and the others looked at Shikajiu and the others with a grim look, and then, led by Luosha, walked towards the Sand Shinobi border without looking back. Shuka. What should we do? Yamanaka Kaiichi whispered. Return within 10 of the border of the Fire Nation, Lu Ju said with a livid face. The other people's faces are not very good looking, and they would have won the situation, but who would have known that the opposite party would directly take out a king bomb? Directly play a good hand here and play it smashed. By the way, tell Lord Hokage everything that happened today, and wait for his decision. After Lu Ju finished speaking, he turned and left. Not far from the Konoha station, Hanxing put Tsunade down and pondered. I want to leave here. If you encounter anything, go to the Vortex Kingdom ruins and find me. I will practice there for a while. I will. Tsunade nodded. It's just that Mr. Yuan Fei shouldn't have informed Sand Shinobi Village. Is it really Danzo? That's right. It's him. I killed so many elites from this old guy in the country of bears. With the character of this old guy who must pay back, it must be him, Hanxing said coldly. Okay. Don't talk about it. If you have anything to do, just go to the old site of the Land of Vortex to find me. After Hanxing finished speaking, he waved his hand and disappeared in a flash. The country of Vortex is located in a small island country in the east of the country of Fire, and the people living in it are all the people of the Vortex clan. If Hanxing wants to reach the country of Vortex from here, he needs to traverse more than half of the country of Fire. Chapter 162 Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. When Hanxing goes there, naturally, he really wants to practice. With his current strength, there must be a lot of noise after the breakthrough, so he needs a quiet and big place to practice. Now is the period of the Third World War. The 5 major countries will definitely not be able to do it, and some small countries will not be able to do so. They have become the pawns of the 5 major countries. Hanxing thought about it, and the country of the Vortex had already been destroyed. He wanted to come there and would not be affected by the war. He remembered that in the original work, Kirigakure's participation in the war had already reached the end of the Third World War. Now is the beginning of the Third World War. There is still a long time before Kirigakure's participation in the war. Half a day later, Hanxing appeared in a small town closest to the Vortex Kingdom ruins, washed up, ate something, and prepared enough food before Hanxing left. On a land overgrown with weeds, broken walls, and broken buildings everywhere, Hanxing wandered around here. On these broken buildings, you can vaguely see the black dots. You don't have to think that it must be the original country of the Vortex, the people of the Vortex tribe. Blood dripped on it when they were dying. Hanxing walked around for a week at random, and after making sure no one was there, he found a fairly secret place. Started training to hit the 7th gate. Night. The stars are dotted with each other, and the whole night sky seems to be dotted with dazzling pearls, forming a beautiful starlight picture. Advertisement. Hokage office. Konoha F4 led by Yuan Fei Hiruzen gathered together. Yuan Fei Hiruzen was smoking a big smoking gun, and his expression was extremely ugly. On the table was the information that Lu Ju and others sent back by secret means, which recorded what happened yesterday. Look at all of you. Look at all of you, Yuan Fei Hiruzen shouted as he slapped the table. What happened to Yuan Fei? As for being so angry, Utatane Kaharu said, picking up the information on the table. His face also became a little bad. After handing the information to Mitokado Homura, he said solemnly, Jiraiya's information about the masked man is only known to the senior officials of Konoha. How did Sand Shinobi know? You ask me. Who am I to ask? Yuan Fei Hiruzen said, his eyes glaring at Danzo intentionally or unintentionally. Don't think about it, it must be Danzo. He knew that Danzo went to meet the masked man secretly, but he didn't expect that Danzo would leak the information to Sand Shinobi Village. Alas! Now let's think about what to do. With Luosha's reinforcements, Tsunade and the others will definitely not be able to hold on. Utatane Kaharu naturally saw Yuan Fei Hiruzen's gaze towards Danzo, but so what, he couldn't hand over Danzo. At the same time, he secretly scolded Danzo for being so unsatisfactory, which also left people behind. Now, Lu Ju and the others have returned to within 10 range of the Fire Nation. Without additional support, it is estimated that they will have to retreat. How could Shikuji and the others do this after retreating for 10 miles? What are Tsunade and Minato doing to eat? Can't they beat them and can't defend? Utatane Kaharu asked anxiously. Advertisement. What can I do if I don't retreat? Luo Sha's reinforcements can be said to have brought all the high-end ninjas from Sand Shinobi. Don't retreat. Wait for the Konoha shinobi at the border to be wiped out. Yuan Fei Hiruzen sneered. With Luosha and the others, there are 4 cage levels on Sand Shinobi's side. Just rely on Tsunade and the others? Are you going to die? Sand Shinobi is really deceiving. Yuan Fei, let me go, at this moment, Danzo said grimly. You must go, so you're sending someone else. Otherwise, Sand Shinobi's side is no match for us at all. Yuan Fei Hiruzen said coldly. Call Jiraiya back. Rock Shinobi was defeated by that caller, and won't attack our Konoha for a while, Mitokado Homura said at this time. Alas! Utatane Kaharu covered his forehead and secretly let out a sigh. This Minato can't be opened, what can I bring? Sure enough, Yuan Fei Hiruzen's originally ugly face became ugly again after hearing this. That's right. That Han can defeat 3rd Tsuchikage and others. Will he come back to our Konoha to make trouble? Ignore the matter at the border first. Let's think about how to reconcile with Han. The information from Jiraiya. Do you think it is appropriate for us Konoha to offend such a strong man now? Yuan Fei. Don't worry, no matter what, we've already offended us, and it's a bit difficult to reconcile. Isn't he a good relationship with Tsunade? Let Tsunade tell him that the news was leaked by a Sand Shinobi spy hidden in our Konoha. Utatane Kaharu suggested. Do you think he will believe it? What if you don't believe it? Anyway, we've already made an attitude. If he doesn't want to marry Tsunade, don't reconcile. Utatane Kaharu pouted. Advertisement. That's right. Our Konoha is known as the largest ninja village in the ninja world, but it's not like the trash like Sand Shinobi and Rock Shinobi. If he really comes, I must let him come and go. Danzo killing intent flashed in his cold eyes. Yuan Fei Hiruzen had the urge to beat Danzo violently. You said that you were good at nothing to provoke him. It was very likely that you were an ally of Konoha, but now you have become an enemy. Offending such a super strong man for no reason makes Konoha even worse now. Oh, okay. You all go. I'll think about it for myself. Yuan Fei Hiruzen waved his hand in frustration. That's right, Yuan Fei. Last night, I found out that several spies from other ninja villages sneaked into the Senju clan's land and wanted to take away the few remaining children of the Senju clan. Later I was caught by my roots, but during the battle, when the spy was discovered, they killed those children without hesitation. Then, without waiting for us to do anything, I bite my tongue and commit suicide. It's obviously a dead man sent from another village, Shimura Danzo said flatly. What? You said that the Senju clan was infiltrated by spies from other ninja villages, and after being discovered, they decisively killed all the children of the Senju clan. Yuan Fei's anger surged. He shouted, why don't I know about this? Don't know? In my heart, I scolded Danzo for being a pig teammate. Now that the third war has started, and there are people everywhere, Tsunade is fighting on the front line, but the few remaining sons of the clan are all killed. What if this brings Tsunade back? Go crazy. Isn't the Uchiha family in charge of law and order? What are they doing to eat? Utatane Kaharu cursed angrily. Senju's group is their teacher's family. In addition to the elderly, the last young child in the family has also been slaughtered by secret agents. He doesn't know how to meet the teacher after he dies. Chapter 163 Previous chapter Next chapter Advertisement. Danzo. You find it for me. Use all the roots and Anbu, and you must find the mastermind behind the scenes. The teacher's clan must not die in vain. Yuan Fei Hiruzen roared loudly. Got it. What about Tsunade? Danzo said. I can hide it for a while, Yuan Fei Hiruzen sighed. After speaking, he directly waved his hand and let Danzo and the others leave. After Danzo and the others left, the expression on Yuan Fei Hiruzen's face changed instantly, and there was no trace of sadness at all. His eyes were bright and deep. What's the cold? What a hassle. The country of the vortex. In a dark and hidden corner, Hanxing sat cross-legged with his legs crossed. In his mind, an electric drill composed of thunder and lightning was trying to drill through the threshold of the 7th gate. It has been half a month since he came here, and Hanxing has been practicing for nearly half a year. After nearly half a year of hard work by Hanxing, he has successfully drilled a small hole in the threshold of Hanxing's 7th gate. All that's left is to expand the cave until the 7th gate is fully opened. In this half-month, Hanxing Ishin practiced, but because of him, the history has changed slightly. Because of Hanxing's departure, Luo Sha and others directly attacked Lu Ju and other high-level officials, and the Konoha Frontier Army was defeated, and Luo Sha and others were directly beaten into Konoha 20 miles. Advertisement. According to Hanxing's request, Luo Sha and the others did not kill Lu Ju and others, but tied them up and extorted a large amount of supplies from Konoha. In these high rises, except for Namikaze Minato who escaped, everyone else was arrested. By the time Danzo and the others arrived, it was already too late. If he hadn't run fast, he would probably have been caught by Luo Sha. After all, after Lu Ju and others were arrested, Danzo was alone. How could he be the opponent of Luo Sha and the others? This incident was reported back to Konoha, causing uproar throughout Konoha. Yuan Fei Hiruzen had no choice but to pinch his nose and exchanged a large amount of supplies in exchange for Lu Ju and the others. He had to do this. Shikaku was not only the deputy commander of the Konoha front line, but also the patriarch of the Nara clan, as well as Kaiichi, Yuhi Mahong, and Tsunade. It can be said that these are the pillars of Konoha's future. Luo Sha and others were also smart. After returning a large amount of supplies, they took Sand Shinobi directly away from the Konoha range, without any nostalgia. After all, Konoha is the leader of the 5 countries, and now they are caught off guard, otherwise, they will definitely lose. After Yuan Fei Hiruzen redeemed the people, he put Lu Ju and others on standby again, and then transferred Jiraiya here from the Cloud Shinobi border. Tsunade plus Jiraiya, plus Namikaze Minato who has learned time and space ninjutsu, so Yuan Fei Hiruzen felt a little at ease. After another 2 months, Hanxing was still sitting cross-legged in the dark corner. In his mind, the 7th gate of 8 inner gates was almost completely swallowed up by him, leaving only a small corner. Hanxing confidence, the 7th gate of 8 inner gates will be fully opened in at most 2 days. 2 days later, in the practice space, a huge burst of energy suddenly burst out from Hanxing. This energy is like seawater, continuous and surging. Advertisement. The violent chakra fluctuations brought gusts of wind, and spread wildly in all directions, reaching a radius of 1,000 meters. The wet soil under his body began to sag unknowingly, like a cement hole. Hanxing opened his eyes. With a smile in his eyes, he took a long breath, finally opened the 7th gate. Let the system transform into a flat ground, and Hanxing begins to work hard to control the extra energy of the master. The increase brought to him by the 7th gate is not ordinary. First of all, chakra has at least increased the amount of cage level peak, and so is taiju. The most important thing is spirit. With the mental energy in Hanxing's mind, he can at least rank in the top 3 in the ninja world. Now that the 7th gate is opened, the mental energy in his mind has increased by at least 1/3. If it reaches the 8th gate, is it going to be doubled? Thinking of this, Hanxing was very excited. Directly separate 500 shadow clone, Hanxing started the controller's extra energy, as well as the flesh. Half a month later, after Hanxing's disdainful efforts, he finally became familiar with all this surge of energy, and his body was the same. Next, what Hanxing has to do is to open the 8th gate. There is no rush. His 7th gate has just begun. The throbbing deep in his body tells him not to open the 8th gate in a hurry. His sage body is also there must be an adaptation process. Hum. With a few random punches, Hanxing could clearly feel the booming sound coming from the air. According to his current strength, he is one step closer to the Six Paths realm, but unfortunately, this last step is not an ordinary difficult step. Opening his eyes, Hanxing looked at the bright sunlight in the sky with a soft smile on his face. Advertisement, finally can rest for a while. Next is Cloud Shinobi Village's lightning-style bodybuilding secret technique. I just don't know if it can exercise my body. Hope it works, Hanxing murmured. At this moment, Hanxing frowned. He felt that someone was coming here. There is something special about this person. Hanxing feels two waves of chakra in his body. This kind of person Hanxing has seen, Naruto and Gaara. Hanxing's eyes were shining. This is the ruins of the country of Vortex, and the person who came is Jinchuriki, whose identity is self-evident, Whirlpool Kushina. Shouldn't the Vortex Kushina be in Konoha? What are you doing here? The importance of Nine Tails. That old guy Yuan Fei knows better than anyone else. He will never let her leave Konoha. The only possibility is to sneak out. Sure enough, not long after, Hanxing heard a sob. Father, mother, grandfather, grandmother, and all the Vortex clansmen, don't worry. I'm all right in Konoha. Today is the day of the annihilation of our Vortex country, and I'll bring you the best food from Konoha. Speaking of Kushina, he took the food out of the box and sprinkled all the white chrysanthemums in the basket. All of this was done very skillfully. Obviously, it was not the first time to do this. Hanxing watched all this quietly, and said nothing. Speaking of which, the Vortex clan was a distant relative to the Senju clan, and the demise of the Vortex clan was related to Konoha Yinpu F4. Alas! Hanxing sighed. What a pity. Kushina, who was throwing paper money, felt a sigh behind her, her pretty face froze, and she shouted at where Hanxing was. Chapter 164 Previous chapter Next chapter Advertisement. Don't be afraid. I'm not the enemy. Hanxing walked out and said. Seeing the vigilant look in Kushina's eyes, I said, I'm not interested in you, including the 9 tails in you. Who the hell are you? Kushina wiped her tears and asked sternly. A handful of kuwu suddenly appeared in her hand. I know Tsunade and Namikaze Minato, too. I was on the border between the Land of Wind and the Land of Land, and I beat up Sand Shinobi high-level officials. Hanxing organized his own language. You are the fiancé of Lord Tsunade that Minato said, Han? Kushina looked at Hanxing's clothes carefully, and was surprised that it was similar to what Minato described. I'm Han. Not Tsunade's fiancé. Hanxing frowned. Cut. Who are you kidding? The thing about you spanking Tsunade-sama has spread throughout Konoha, and even spread to the entire ninja world. Kushina pouted indifferently. On Hanxing's forehead, a large black line suddenly appeared. This damn Lu Ju. You must beat him hard before leaving. By the way, what are you doing at the ruins of my country of Vortex? Kushina asked suspiciously. Isn't it the idea of attacking my country of Vortex Seal? You think too much. Now that the ninja world is in the period of the Third Ninja War, I'm just trying to be quiet here. Hanxing shook his head. Clean. You can go to Konoha. With your relationship with Tsunade, Third Hokage will definitely let you in. Advertisement. I'm not interested. I'm afraid I'll be killed by Yuan Fei Hiruzen when I get to Konoha. Hanxing sneered, his words full of disdain. So what Minato said is true. You don't have a good impression of Konoha. It's not that I don't like Konoha, it's just that I don't like Yuan Fei, Hiruzen and the others who only play tricks and tricks. Hanxing said with disdain. Did you know that after you left the high-level Sand Shinobi, under the leadership of Luo Sha, went all the way to the Fire Country 20 miles, stationed in the high-level frontier, except for Minato, caught. In order to redeem them, Hokage-sama spent a lot of materials. Now, Minato and others are defending in the Land of Wind, and we can only use summoning to communicate. Kushina said here with a look of resentment. So, has history been changed by me? Hanxing thought to himself. Looking at Kushina, you don't understand. The bosses here are talking about it, so don't know about it. After a pause, Hanxing said again, is it the National Extermination Day of the Vortex today? Kushina said here, her eyes becoming sad. I'll throw some white chrysanthemums on it too. Speaking of which, I'm a bit close to the country of the Vortex. Hanxing stepped forward, grabbed a handful of white chrysanthemums from Kushina's basket, and sprinkled them towards the sky. 3 more prostrations. You said that you were related to our Whirlpool family? Who are you? Kushina's eyes deepened with surprise. Don't worry about it. Hurry up after worshipping. If you sneak out, it is estimated that the whole Konoha is looking for you. Suddenly, Hanxing rolled his eyes and changed his mind. Would you like to know the truth about the genocide in the Kingdom of Vortex? Now that he has changed history, I wonder what would happen if Kushina knew the truth about the genocide. Advertisement. I don't know if Naruto will be born or not. It is estimated that there is little chance of change. After all, Kushina and Namikaze Minato are already together now, and their relationship should be very deep. The truth of the genocide in the country of Vortex. What are you talking about? Our country of Vortex was surrounded and wiped out by the other 3 major countries? Kushina frowned. Is there another reason? Certainly. After a pause, Hanxing didn't wait for Kushina to continue to ask, and then said, the reason why the Kingdom of Vortex was destroyed is because your Vortex family's sealing technique is too powerful. But the strength is not very good. Is that all you said? I know all this. What is this hidden factor? Kushina pouted in disdain. Then say something different. Hanxing smiled slightly. This thing has to start with Konoha. Why is it related to the Konoha car again? Kushina interjected. Do you still want to hear it? Hanxing said angrily. You go on. Go on. Kushina gritted her teeth, suppressed anger. If people who are familiar with Kushina see this scene, it is estimated that their eyeballs will fall. Is this the blood red pepper they know? Let's talk about 2 aspects first. First, let's talk about Konoha's barrier. Second, let's talk about the Senju family. After speaking, without waiting for Kushina to speak, Hanxing took the lead and said, if you say another word during this period, I won't say it. Advertisement. Frightened, Kushina quickly covered her mouth. The first is the Konoha barrier. As we all know, after Konoha built the village, all the barriers in the village were handled by your Vortex clan. It was nothing when first Hokage and second Hokage were in power. After all, the Vortex and the Senju family were distant relatives. There will certainly be no worries. But after Yuan Fei Hiruzen came to power, it was different. What is the barrier of the village? That is the most important line of defense in the village. It is not an exaggeration to say that it is the lifeline. How could it be controlled by outsiders? At that time, Yuan Fei Hiruzen had just ascended to the throne, and the Senju clan had a great reputation, which greatly influenced him to rule Konoha. At this time, the Senju clan became an obstacle in the eyes of Yuan Fei Hiruzen. But he knows very well that the Senju family and the Whirlpool family are friendly, and if you want to deal with the Senju family, you must deal with the Whirlpool family. Why? On the one hand, with the demise of the Vortex clan, the Senju clan lacks a support. On the other hand, it is the sealing technique of the Vortex clan. Yuan Fei Hiruzen wants to obtain the sealing technique of the Vortex clan, so as to control the barrier of Konoha. I hope this barrier is in his own hands. Later, the Vortex clan was besieged by the 3 major countries. Why did they besiege the Vortex clan? How did they know how powerful the Vortex clan's sealing technique was? Why did they join forces? It is reasonable for the country of Thunder and the country of Water to attack the country of Vortex. After all, they are close, but what about the country of Earth? It's not reasonable to follow the country to attack the country of Vortex, right? And why did Konoha's reinforcements arrive when your country of Vortex was almost destroyed? Don't you think this is a bit strange? Hokage-sama had to deal with the land of wind and the land of earth, Kushina said, unable to continue, and her face began to change. Haha. Konoha at that time can be said to be the largest country in the ninja world, with the legacy of first Hokage and second Hokage. It is rude to say that one country can fight against the other 4 major ninja countries without falling behind. Chapter 165. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Senju clan, Uchiha clan, Hyuga clan. With these 3 families alone, each family can fight against a country, not to mention, there are also various secret arts families such as Ino Shikacho, Aburame. There are also strong people like White Fang. In the end, Yuan Fei Hiruzen just doesn't want to rescue him. The country of the Vortex is an outsider to Yuan Fei Hiruzen. Do outsiders understand? As for the Senju family, It is estimated that Yuan Fei Hiruzen had already been transferred to the border of a certain country, and warned other countries to attack Konoha. And why did you escape, and why did you get sent to Konoha? You should know your role, Hanxing said flatly. Jinchuriki. Kushina murmured. I think you have seen what happened in Konoha. After World War II, the Senju family was basically wiped out, and even the young master of the Senju family, Senju Nawaki, died. Now the Senju family, except Tsunade, are basically the old, the weak, the sick and the disabled. No, this weak word is probably gone too. There are only some disabled people left, Hanxing sneered. The huge waves that set off in Kushina's heart, if he had some doubts just now, what Hanxing said was guesswork, then the last sentence concluded that everything Hanxing said was true. Because, just over 2 months ago, the Senju family was infiltrated by spies from other countries lurking in Konoha and captured the only 3 remaining children of the Senju family. In the end, to everyone's shock, the 3 spies saw that they could not leave. He killed the Senju children on the spot and killed himself by biting his tongue. The Senju family's inheritance is completely cut off. What you said is right, more than 2 months ago, Kushina said slowly about the children of the Senju family, her face extremely pale. This is because Kushina didn't know how to accept it for a while after knowing the truth. Really, this Yuan Fei Hiruzen is really ruthless. Tsunade should not know. If he knew, he would never stay on the front line with peace of mind. Hanxing sneered, and a trace of killing intent overflowed in his heart unconsciously. Yuan Fei Hiruzen. Shimura Danzo. I don't know why, when Hanxing heard that the Kushina Senju clan was wiped out, a nameless anger suddenly rose from his body, and he wanted to go to Konoha and kill Yuan Fei Hiruzen and others on the spot. Advertisement. At this moment, Hanxing felt Kushina's trembling body, took a deep breath, suppressed the anger in his heart, restrained the killing intent that he had quietly revealed, and apologized. I'm sorry, I was not careful, I couldn't hold back. Hoo-hoo. Feeling the sea-like pressure on her body and the terrifying killing intent disappearing from her pores, Kushina clutched her chest and gasped violently. How can you be so strong? I almost let 9 tails appear in my body. Tell Tsunade. I'll be waiting for her here, if he wants me to kill Konoha. Hanxing's voice was so cold that Kushina was terrified. You are not really a member of the Senju clan, Kushina said suspiciously. Hurry up, I hope you don't tell others about what I am here, and Konoha is looking for you, Hanxing said indifferently. In the electromagnetic induction, several human magnetic fields are rushing towards here frantically. I will. Thank you for today's matter. Tell me everything about the demise of the country of the vortex. Kushina bowed to Hanxing, her face looking lonely. I'll tell Tsunade-sama about you. After speaking, Kushina, with a flash of her delicate body, walked towards Konoha. Lord Kushina, don't you know you can't leave the village at will? Do you know, because of you, Konoha is about to be turned upside down now, Arut said coldly. Lord Kushina, let's protect you and go back, a leading Anbu said and gave a look to the 4 Anbu behind him. The other 4 Anbu, silently, appeared around Kushina, saying that they were protecting, but they were actually monitoring to prevent Kushina from escaping. Got it. Kushina said it calmly, advertisement thinking of what Hanxing said today, she doesn't have any affection for Konoha at all. The only thing that makes him nostalgic is Minato, not to mention Anbu's current appearance, which makes her even more angry, and she can't wait to kill the Anbu in front of her. Thinking of this, her eyes gradually turned into vertical eyes, and a trace of dark red chakra gradually floated from her body. This is the tailed beast. It's not good to spread out quickly, and one person will notify Hokage-sama. Anbu, who was already wary of Kushina, saw the changes in Kushina and shouted anxiously. After one Anbu left, the other Anbu quickly took out their weapons and surrounded Kushina not far away, waiting for rescue to arrive. Just kidding, let's not say that Kushina's strength has already reached Jonan's strength, and with the current tail animal transformation, they go up to deliver food. Whoosh! At this moment, Kushina moved, and his eyes were completely shrouded in killing intent, and he completely lost himself. Click. When an Anbu did not recover at all, a claws transformed by chakra directly penetrated his body. To death, There is only a piece of horror in his eyes. Damn! Separate a little! Chief Anbu shouted. His cry immediately caught Kushina's attention. With one hand, he threw the Anbu out of his hand, and there was a roar under his feet, and the Anbu appeared beside him in the blink of an eye. The dark red claws carried the scorching heat and grabbed this Anbu. Whoosh! Advertisement: this Anbu has some strength, and disappeared in place the moment Kushina's attack fell. Boom! In the flying soil, a paw print of about 2 meters appeared on the ground where the Anbu had just appeared. Fire-style great fireball technique, the Anbu shouted in midair with frantic knots on his hands. A giant great fireball about 2 meters in size spit out from the mouth of this Anbu with scorching heat. Roar! With an inhuman roar, a scene that shocked the Anbu appeared. The huge fireball has a temperature that can burn everything, and is directly transformed into a red claw by Kushina. One claw is in his hand, and then squeezed. This fireball is so easily cracked. As expected of Nine Tails, the Anbu exclaimed in horror. Captain! Are you all right? Behind him, 3 Anbu did not know when to appear beside him. One of them Anbu worried. It's okay. It seems that we can only hold it and wait for the village to support it, Anbu leader said solemnly. Understood. Several people nodded. Then, use your ninjutsu skills. For a time, various ninjutsu danced around Kushina. Unfortunately, these ninjutsu hit Kushina without pain or itching, as if it had never happened. At this time, behind Kushina, the dark red chakra had turned into 2 tails. Chapter 166 Previous chapter Next chapter Advertisement. After knowing the truth, Kushina can be said to be saddened more than death. She thought it was her own village, but now she finds out that it was the culprit that destroyed her own clan. It was dark and damp, with water stains running on the ground. Kushina looked blankly at the Nine-Tails fox behind the door. Kushina. Let my uncle go out. Don't you want to destroy Konoha? Let me out will definitely help you destroy it. We all have a common enemy. Come on, Kushina. Release the seal in front of the door. The old man guarantees you in the name of the tailed beast and destroys Konoha. Deep in Kushina's heart, Nine-Tails persuaded. Click. Click. At the same time, in the outside world, the chakra tail behind Kushina climbed sharply, reaching the level of 6 tails in the blink of an eye. The whole body was wrapped in dark red chakra, and 4 white bone claws grew on the body. Roar. At this time, she has completely become a slave of Nine Tails, just like when Pain attacked Konoha. Hinata gave the head to Naruto to see. The rich and evil chakra fluctuated, rolled up gusts of wind, and spread around. How many Anbu have seen this kind of scene? The ground collapsed and dust was flying, just like the resurrection of ancient monsters, just standing there with fear. Captain. Me. What shall we do? An Anbu trembled. Evacuate first, then follow it secretly. Nine Tails must not be missed, the leader Anbu pondered. As soon as I finished speaking, I felt that the sky was dark, and a paw covering the sky and the sun fell from the sky towards them. This claw is not only sharp and huge, but also very fast. Except for the leader Anbu who dodged in front of them, the other Anbu directly slapped the claw into a blood clot, and those who died can no longer die. Damn it! Chief Anbu yelled angrily. Advertisement. Before he could finish speaking, his whole body seemed to be hit by a high-speed truck. His body involuntarily spit out a mouthful of blood, and flew backwards. The moment he flew out, he vaguely saw a huge fox head. Bang bang bang. Suddenly, Captain Anbu felt a roar in the air. A red streamer seemed to flash from his eyes, and a fatal danger came from the bottom of his heart. At this time, he was hit by the head of Nine Tails, and the impact on his body had not dissipated, and his body could not move at all. Puff. Dark red blood flowed from his chest, accompanied by a red claws. Captain Anbu dies in horror. Roar. After solving the last enemy, the half-tailed beast-shaped Kushina started to roar wildly. Black and white particles began to gather in his mouth. A big-tailed beast bomb, launched towards the country of fire. Boom. The dark black-tailed beast bomb, with monstrous energy, disappears into the sky like a fired cannonball. Boom. There was a huge roar in the distance, accompanied by a strong vibration. The fire was soaring, and the smoke filled the air. The former site of the land of Vortex, Hanxing had just sat down and wanted to fully appreciate the benefits of opening the seventh gate. Before long, he felt the ground tremble, and a monstrous and evil chakra appeared in the distance. This chakra Hanxing is no stranger to Nine Tails chakra. Hanxing frowned. What's the situation? How did Nine Tails chakra appear? Could it be because of his own words that Kushina directly released Nine Tails? Advertisement. While speaking, Hanxing's figure moved and quietly disappeared in place. Roar. At this time, there were several more Konoha ninjas around Kushina. These were all ninjas looking for Kushina nearby. After hearing the roar, they ran towards here. This is... Nine Tails ran wild, a ninja said in horror. No way. How could this happen? Damn it, we are no match at all. Use Earth-style ninjutsu to besiege it and wait for Hokage-sama's support, a masked ninja said dignifiedly. Understand, Captain. X7 Earth-style Yellow Spring Marsh. Earth-style Earth Stream. Earth-style Earth Stream Wall. One after another Earth-style ninjutsu was released from the hands of these ninjas. Suddenly, the land of Nine Tails first turned into a muddy swamp, and then huge and hard earth walls were erected around it, completely surrounding Kushina. Earth-style barrier dungeon. No. At this time, Anbu, who was in the lead, made a seal with both hands, walked to the periphery of the earth wall, stretched one hand to the earth wall, and shouted. In the blink of an eye, the surrounding earth walls began to grow upwards into a semicircle, directly trapping Nine Tails inside. This earth-style enchantment can not only besiege the opponent, but also the earth wall is covered with chakra. Even if the earth wall is broken, it can be restored immediately, and it can also absorb the opponent's chakra. It is a kind of advanced ninjutsu in earth style. Captain Anbu's strongest earth style ninjutsu. Of course, he didn't dare to absorb chakra, at most he just restored the broken earth wall. Advertisement. Boom. Two sharp dark red claws protrude directly from the earth wall, and it revolves around the earth wall. The surrounding earth walls are like paper paste, and an arm-like crack is instantly drawn. In the shock of everyone, the two sharp claws of Nine Tails stuck in the middle directly exerted force, and the huge earthen hood began to be slowly lifted by the two sharp claws of Nine Tails. Boom! It raised the earth cover high and smashed at the reluctant Konoha shinobi with a roar. The surrounding Anbu hurriedly dodged, and Nine Tails jumped and left the dungeon. Behind him, 9 dark red tails turned into indestructible giant pillars, and together with the two claws, they frantically attacked the surrounding Konoha shinobi. Every blow is powerful, and even Jonin will be terrified when he sees it. For a time, the earth trembled, the roaring sound was incessant, and the dust flew up, as if the end was coming. As the head of the tailed beast, Nine Tails' strength is not comparable to that of ordinary tailed beasts. A casual blow can make the surrounding Anbu miserable, plus the Nine Tails' chakra erosion that must be guarded against. Only 70% to 80% of the strength of 100% can be used, which makes Anbu, who was originally the opponent of Nine Tails, even worse. It didn't take long for the 7 or 8 Anbu around, only 4 were left to support. Captain, we can't go on like this. We're afraid our entire army will be wiped out. It's a long way from our Konoha, and even if Lord Hokage wants to send support, it's too late, an Anbu said in horror. I also know that it's at least 3 days' journey from here to Konoha, who knew that Kushina would sneak out and return to the country of vortexes. Captain Anbu cursed secretly. The Nine Tails runaway is not something they can handle at all. He is just delaying the time, hoping that Anbu, who is searching around Kushina, will see that he can arrive quickly and provide support. Otherwise, they are probably going to join a team of Anbu. Cool. Chapter 167 Previous chapter Next chapter Advertisement. Whizzing. At this moment, shuriken with flames shot from midair towards Nine Tails, accompanied by a loud roar, fire-style impatience claw red. Boom. One after another explosion sounded on Nine Tails. Except for some black smoke, Nine Tails was unscathed. A figure appeared in front of Captain Anbu. He wears a dog head mask, but his eyes are scarlet with 3 tomo. This person is none other than Uchiha Kageme's cousin, Uchiha Mew, who inherited Uchiha Kagame's will and joined Anbu as the link between Konoha and the Uchiha clan. You're here. No, Captain Anbu saw this man, and his tense body relaxed a little. Sorry, it's late, Sub-Commander, is Nine Tails going crazy? Uchiwu's flat voice came from under the mask. Yeah. It seems that the runaway is still very serious, and no less than 10 Anbu have died in its hands, Captain Anbu said seriously. Then what's your battle plan? With a wry smile, I originally used the Earth-style barrier to trap it, waiting for Lord Hokage's support, but my Earth-style barrier was destroyed in an instant. Then, he ran away and killed 4 Anbu, and now I can't think of a good way. And Fen Yi pointed to the tail behind Nine Tails and said, Kushina's tail has grown 8 now, and her strength can be described as an earth-shaking change. No matter what we do, it won't work. Fen said this, feeling a little frustrated. I'll try it. No, I'm thinking of other ways. Wu Shen groaned, and the whole person disappeared silently in place. As expected of Wu, this speed is not ordinary. Fen looked at Wu's speed and exclaimed. Whoosh! Advertisement. No whole person suddenly appeared in the head of Nine Tails. The sharp long sword was burning with hot flames. He raised the long sword in his hand, swung it quickly, and the cold light flashed. Boom! The Nine Tails head composed of dark red chakra exploded instantly. But the Nine Tails at the bottom didn't care. The 2 huge claws, like swatting flies, were not even close to the Uchiha in the middle. Boom! A puff of smoke flashed past, and Uchiha disappeared in place. At this moment, the blasted head of Nine Tails, wrapped by the rich Nine Tails chakra, returned to its original state in the blink of an eye. The ability to recover is really incomprehensible, Uchiha said silently. In the eyes, the pitch-black 3 jade hooks began to spin rapidly, and the hands quickly formed seals. Illusion darkness technique. Roar! In the dark world, a huge and evil fox head suddenly slammed into the spiritual world of Wu. Hum. Hum. Tick-tock. Tick-tock. A trace of blood flowed out of Uchiha Wu's eyes, and it didn't take long for the whole person to be waterlogged, sweating profusely and panting. How about Wu? Fen quickly pulled Wu up and said anxiously. No, squad leader. My illusion doesn't work. I was disturbed by the chakra of Nine Tails just now when I used my illusion. Uchiha laughed bitterly. Advertisement can't even you? Sigh in frustration. Uchiha's inexhaustible Anbu can be said to be famous, one-handed with fire style and illusion, and can also be in the forefront of the entire Anbu. Uchiha can't tell the bitterness in his heart. He can be said to be a powerful existence in Konoha and even the ninja world with his fire style and illusion. But in front of Nine Tails, the illusions that he is proud of have no effect at all, and the same is true of fire style. If one ninjutsu goes down, people will recover immediately in the next second. It has no effect at all, unless the Uchiha clan Mangekyo Sharingan is turned on, which is a pity. How can Mangekyo be so easy to turn on? Sub-Commander. What should I do now? Uchiha asked weakly without cold sweat. Retreat first, then follow secretly, waiting for Lord Hokage's support, Fen said solemnly. Da. At this moment, a footstep sounded not far from a few people. Hanxing frowned and looked ugly. He didn't expect that because of his own reasons, the girl Kushina really went wild on the spot, and her mentality was too fragile. Who are you? What are you doing here? Fen asked vigilantly when he saw Hanxing's outfit. Sub-Commander. Shut up. Uchiha tugged at his shirt and looked at Hanxing weakly. If I'm not mistaken, you should be Tsunade-sama's fiancé, Han-sama. Are you from the Uchiha clan? Hanxing's eyes flashed with surprise. He didn't expect Yuan Fei to allow the Uchiha clan to join Anbu when he was in power. Are you not afraid of the Uchiha clan's separation of power? Unless... After a pause, Hanxing said again, you should be from Uchiha Kagame's line. Master Han is really smart. Uchiha Kagame is my cousin. I'm a cousin who watched him grow up with his own eyes. Uchiha said without praise. I'll just say it. How could Yuan Fei Hiruzen allow the Uchiha clan to join his Anbu? Hanxing sneered. In this regard, Uchiha Wu could only smile bitterly. It seems that the rumor is true. This Lord Han has a deep prejudice against Lord 3rd Hokage. Advertisement, bold. How dare you disrespect Lord Hokage? Fen shouted coldly. Puff. In Fen's surprised expression, Hanxing's hand suddenly penetrated Fen's chest like a claws. What do I say? I still use you to teach, Hanxing said coldly. The lightning flashes on the hand, clearing the blood from the hand. Han. Lord Han, you. Uchiha Wu pointed at Hanxing, not daring to believe. What am I? If it wasn't for the fact that you were respectful to me and a member of the Uchiha clan, you would have already died, Hanxing said coldly. Originally, after Kushina informed Hanxing that the last child of the Senju clan had also died, Hanxing made up his mind to teach Yuan Fei Hiruzen an unforgettable lesson. Now, seeing Yuan Fei's supporters of Hiruzen, if you don't kill him to vent your anger, who will you kill? As for the 9 tails on the side, I'll talk about it later, let's get rid of my anger first. You actually killed the squad leader, you damned bastard, the remaining Anbus shot in rage. Uchiha didn't see this, and hurriedly shouted, don't shoot. But, by the time he called out, it was too late. In these moments of Anbus shot, Uchiha didn't even see how Hanxing disappeared. You know, he is driving the 3-tomo Sharingan. It can increase the ability of the official to observe. Even so, he doesn't know how the cold on the opposite side disappears. It can be seen how fast the cold is. This kind of speed, I'm afraid the whole Konoha, no one in the entire ninja world can match it. Chapter 168 Previous chapter Next chapter Advertisement. Just in Uchiha's mumless voice. A burst of blood splattered in his ears. Uchiha turned his head quickly and found that Hanxing had appeared in front of those who did not know when, holding a bloody kunai in his hand. Looking at the surrounding Anbu ninjas, Uchiha's pupils shrank for a while, because a bloodstain appeared on the Anbu's neck. He still looked at Hanxing in shock and anger, his hands were forming seals, and he didn't know that he was dead. Gum. Uchiha Wu quietly swallowed his saliva, but he couldn't say anything. If he really wanted to say a word, I'm afraid that in the next moment, he would be like those Anbus and see Shinigami. I thought to myself, what is this Tsunade-sama's fiancé? I think it's almost Shinigami. Roar. At this time, a huge claw like a giant claw, covering the sky and covering the sun, patted Hanxing and Uchiha Mi. Hanxing made a facial expression, looked up at the giant claw above, and stretched his right hand up slightly. Boom. A dull sound resounded around. The ground beneath Hanxing's feet suddenly sank, and a huge shock wave emanated from between the two, spreading to the surroundings. A trace of doubt flashed in the eyes of 9 tails in the beast's eyes. It felt like it was hitting an iron mountain. Then, lift up the beast claws and drop it again. Advertisement. Once, twice. I don't know how many times. Hanxing is still holding out that hand. His face is expressionless. His palm is thin, but it is like a jade pillar, indestructible. Uchiha Mew, who thought he was going to die, looked at all this with a stunned expression, and he finally understood how Master Han defeated Sand Shinobi and other high-level leaders. That's it? Hanxing seemed to sneer, looking at 9 tails. Is this a provocation? Uchiha muttered secretly. Roar. It seems that Hanxing's sentence is irritating. 9 tails took a big mouth, the rich black and white particles condensed in the mouth, and the black-tailed beast bomb was completed in an instant. Just spray on the Hanxing below. Hanxing's expression remained unchanged. The white thunder flashed on his hand, dazzling, and stretched forward. Like a laser version of thunder and lightning, it quickly turned into a boxy thunder barrier, trapping the entire 9 tails in it. Boom! The black-tailed beast bomb, with the energy to destroy everything, bombarded the thunder barrier, making a monstrous roar. The dark black energy instantly enveloped the entire barrier, and wherever it passed, the entire thunder barrier shook. Shaking and shaking, the thunder barrier is as stable as Mount Tai. Not even the slightest aftermath of tailed beast bomb came out, and the outside can be said to be safe and sound. Different from the outside, the ground inside the barrier shook, the dust flew up, and everything was submerged, like the end of the day. Advertisement. This scene was completely caught in Uchiha's eyes, with an unbelievable look in his eyes, and a trembling in his voice that he didn't even notice. This blocks it? I really know him? Tailed Beast Bomb? Hanxing ignored Uchiha Wu's sigh, and with a thought, the thunder barrier shrouded in 9 tails began to shrink rapidly. In the blink of an eye, I met the body of 9 tails. Crackle. Crackle. Roar. Roar. After being hit by the white lightning, Kushina, who was dressed in Chakra's clothes, let out a violent roar. The sound was so loud and hoarse that it made the scalp numb, like a demon coming out of the cage. In response, Hanxing was expressionless, and kept controlling the thunder and lightning barrier to narrow the range. At the same time, with a thought, within the thunder barrier, one after another electric snakes flowed out from the surrounding thunder like mercury, rushing towards 9 tails. Hoo. With the addition of these electric snakes, 9 tails roared even louder, and in the blink of an eye, all around his body was covered with lightning, as if he was wearing a layer of lightning gauze. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes later, the howl of 9 tails gradually became weak. After a while, its stature began to gradually shrink, and the tailed beast chakra began to gradually enter Kushina's body. Seeing this, Hanxing immediately retracted the surrounding lightning barrier, and in the blink of an eye, the surrounding lightning disappeared, as if it had never happened. In a red-hot pothole, where is Kushina's naked coma? Looking at Kushina's exquisite body, his expression was unwavering. He took off his clothes, covered Kushina's perfect body, and was hugged by a princess, just about to leave. Anbu added roots one by one, densely packed like ants moving out in front of Hanxing. Advertisement. Your Excellency is Han. Please give us 9 tails Jinchuriki. A root ninja said coldly. His voice sounded like an order. Hanxing sneered. I remember you were there when I killed the other Anbus. How cruel. You don't show up when I kill them, and when I subdue 9 tails, you show up again. This is Konoha the ninja. It really opened my eyes. As early as when he killed Fen and several other Anbu, Hanxing felt a lot of human body fluctuations around him. I thought that these people would appear after he killed him, but he didn't expect that after he killed him, he would be like an old dog, standing still. It turned out to be the idea of the fight. Hanxing carefully counted the Anbu Jiajin in front of him. There were about 50 people. The lowest was Chunin, and the highest was Elite Jonin. I sneered in my heart. It really gave Konoha a face. Exactly. Killing all these people in front of you is a bit of hatred for the extermination of the Senju clan. You said I would give Kushina to you? Tell me who gave you the tone to speak to me like that? Is it that rat shit from Danzo? Or that old yin than Yuan Fei Hiruzen? Hanxing mocked unceremoniously. Hanxing's ring made the faces of Anbu and Genbu and the others around him instantly turn cold, revealing a trace of murderous intent unnaturally, and some even took out their weapons. How do you want to do it? You can think about the price of doing it to me. Hanxing circled around, his eyes swept to the roots one by one. Anbu, his voice was cold. No, 9 tails Jinchuriki belongs to Konoha, and I hope your excellency will return it to Konoha. Besides, based on your relationship with Lord Tsunade, we should be a family. And Anbu said, his tone not as cold as before. Tsunade. Haha. Hanxing continued with a sneer. You Konoha really put gold on your face. I have a good relationship with Tsunade, but it's none of your business with Konoha. Lousy mentions Tsunade. Want Kushina? Yes. Beat me and give it to you? If you're undefeated. Hanxing's voice paused, his voice icy like a 9 secluded wind, sweeping towards everyone present, saying word by word, then leave them all. Chapter 169 Previous chapter Next chapter Advertisement. As soon as the voice fell, a huge coercion suddenly erupted from Hanxing, looking down on the world, domineering and unparalleled, like an ancient sacred mountain pressing all Anbu out of breath. The icy murderous aura seemed to be real, the rich blood was disgusting, and their bodies seemed to have turned into a sea of blood, and Hanxing was an Asura who came out of the sea of blood, and wanted to slaughter all living beings. Gum. Feeling the terrifying power coming from Hanxing, all the Anbu ninjas present quietly swallowed a mouthful of saliva, with a trace of fear in their eyes. It's terrifying. It's terrifying. Is this the power of one person to beat up Sand Shinobi's high-level officials? We can't breathe because of this momentum alone. Not even Hokage-sama? Some Anbu thought secretly. His eyes quietly looked at Captain Anbu, who was not far away, waiting for his decision. Nine Tails Jinchuriki belongs to our Konoha. No one will be allowed to take it away. I hope your excellency will stay. Arut spoke calmly under the pressure of Hanxing, and he paused. No, don't blame us for taking action against your excellency. The Roots are known as the killing machines. They have always followed only Danzo's orders, and Danzo told them the order is, bring back Nine Tails Jinchuriki at all costs. If the person in front of you is not Hanxing, I guess the Root members would have already started. Shoot! Hanxing sneered. The whole person suddenly disappeared in place, and the next moment, Hanxing's palm appeared in front of this Root. Boom! Crack! A palm pressed his head to the ground. The dust was flying, and the ground was cracked, forming a small pothole. In the pothole, the mask of this Root member was broken. His eyes were frightened, and behind his head, a red and white stream was flowing. In one place, the dead cannot die. Advertisement thunder flashes on Hanxing's hands, cleaning the stains on his hands like fire. He took out a kunai from his long-used ninja bag and said flatly, I want to see how you guys took Kushina from me. Master Han. We really have no intention of becoming an enemy of you. Captain Anbu bit his head. I cursed in my heart. The strong man just now has no brains at all. You don't know the strength of this kind of character. Do you want us all to die here? As an elite Jonin, he just doesn't even know how Hanxing disappeared. At this speed, if he wants to kill them, he may not even be able to react. What a bunch of pig teammates. He just finished talking. Those members of the Root group saw the leader's death. They directly started ninjutsu, taijutsu, illusion, swordsmanship. All of them rushed towards Hanxing. Hanxing's eyes narrowed, and his figure disappeared instantly, holding Kushina in one hand without affecting his movements at all. The next moment, one after another blood spray and screams sounded around. Holding kunai in hand, Hanxing quickly walked in front of those Roots, and every time it appeared, it would be wiped out with one blow before those Roots were completely unresponsive. He was like a Shinigami who came to the world, bathed in blood, and wherever he passed, a member of the Root would die, and in the blink of an eye, all members of the Root who attacked him died one after another. The time will never exceed 10 seconds. Within 10 seconds, more than a dozen strong-rooted people have died, and there are many elite Jonin, or the kind that are completely unable to fight back. The surviving Anbu members secretly swallowed their saliva again, cold sweat unknowingly covering their foreheads, and the horror in their eyes was undisguised. Lord Hanxing. We have no intention of being your enemy. Let's go now. Let's go now. The Anbu captain said quickly, with a hint of panic in his voice that he didn't even know. Advertisement. No need. Those who came together, of course we must stay together. Hanxing revealed a hideous smile under his mask. The words ended, and the figure disappeared again. In the next second, the screams and the sound of blood splattered again, and after only a moment, they returned to calm, except for Captain Anbu, who had a sluggish face in front of him. You devil, Lord Hokage will not let you go. This Anbu captain is a little broken. Go back and tell third Hokage. Kushina will stay with me here for a few days, and then she will go back by herself. By the way, Hanxing paused and said, I will visit third Hokage when I have time, and settle for him. Get my account. After finishing speaking, Hanxing glanced at Uchiha Wu next to him, and carried Kushina towards the ruins of the land of Vortex, leaving behind a sluggish, blood-stained ground, and dozens of corpses. When the breeze blew, the rich blood rushed to the nose, making the sluggish Captain Anbu wake up. Cold. I will definitely bring your words to Lord Third Hokage, for sure, a cold hoarse voice echoed here. At night, the crescent moon hangs high, and the stars dot the sky. Hanxing sat in front of the fire, his hands glowing green, for the burns caused by Kushina, the healer's tailed beast. After the last burn was completely healed, Hanxing calmly retracted his palm. Start looking at the roast suckling pig in front of you. Yeah, it's so fragrant. Kushina murmured with her eyes closed, then her eyelashes moved slightly and her eyes slowly opened. She looked around suspiciously at first, then looked at the figure not far away, illuminated by the candlelight, revealing Hanxing's masked face. Advertisement. It turned out to be yours. How could I be here? Suddenly, Kushina felt that the body was cold, and when he looked down, his face became extremely red at first, and then became ashen, and a scream resounded around him. Ah! Ah! You bastard! Me! Where's my clothes? Kushina pointed at Hanxing and cursed with tears in her eyes. Hanxing rolled his eyes speechlessly, and said angrily, I said? Am I such a person in your eyes? Even if I'm hungry, I won't choose you. Isn't he not good for choosing Tsunade? You don't like me. The type? As he said that, he glanced in front of Kushina unintentionally or unintentionally. Kushina, who always pays attention to Hanxing's actions, can no longer suppress the anger in her heart when she sees Hanxing's eyes. The whole person flew up, regardless of the clothes wrapped around him, and hit Hanxing. But as soon as she moved, the clothes wrapped around the new car fell off, and the whole person was stunned again. What? His face became like a red apple again. The terrifying shout resounded again. Then, he hurriedly picked up his clothes to cover it up. However, no matter how fast Kushina moves, can Hanxing have fast eyes? At the moment when his clothes fell, his pink vehicle was already seen by Hanxing. Chapter 170 Previous chapter Next chapter Advertisement. After covering the clothes tightly, Kushina walked out with a blushing face. With a fierce look on his face, he said, Speak, what did you see just now? Ha ha ha. I didn't see anything. It's a pity that the headlights are a little small, Hanxing said with a smile. What did you say? Kushina glared at Hanxing. Nothing, nothing, Hanxing waved his hand quickly. Tell me, what the hell happened today? Why are all my clothes missing? Kushina said word by word. He looked at Hanxing like the enemy who killed his father. His body was seen by the person in front of him in vain, and his innocence was also ruined by him. You know, even Namikaze Minato, who is in a relationship with her lover, has never seen her body, and they are only holding hands in the relationship. I didn't expect this to happen 3 days after she came out. Kushina wants to die. Don't you remember anything? Hanxing frowned and cut a piece of pig's trotter and handed it to Kushina. I don't remember. I only remember that after I left you, I met Konoha's Anbu. After that, I didn't know anything. Kushina frowned, clutching her aching head. Could it be Nine Tails? That's right. I don't know what happened before. After I arrived, you have been eroded by the consciousness of Nine Tails. Who did I kill? Kushina asked hastily. Anbu of Konoha. Hanxing took a bite of the pig's trotter. I arrived to subdue Nine Tails and brought you back. Advertisement. As for the clothes on your body, they were burned by the tailed beast chakra after being transformed into a tailed beast, Hanxing said flatly. So, you saved me? Kushina was a little unhappy. She was still a big girl, and when anyone saved her, she would be unhappy when she was seen naked. Yeah. Hanxing nodded. Hurry up and eat it. Hurry up and meet Konoha after eating. Otherwise, Yuanfei Hiruzen's old yin is going to go crazy. Then should you find me a decent dress? Kushina gritted her teeth. How could I have? You eat first, and I'll go to a nearby town to buy you a suitable girl's clothes. Hanxing frowned. After that, the two of them had nothing to talk about, and concentrated on eating the roast suckling pig in front of them. Half of it went into Kushina's stomach. Hanxing was a little speechless. It might be the reason why the Vortex clan is the king of big stomachs. After a while, Hanxing went to a nearby town, bought Kushina a set of clothes for women of all sizes, and left her alone. The next morning, Kushina finished the breakfast made by Hanxing and said with a complicated expression, I'm going asshole. Goodbye. Hanxing waved his hands casually. Humph. Shouldn't you bastard say something? Kushina saw Hanxing's expression, and instantly turned into a blood-red pepper. His face was furious. Then I wish you and Namikaze Minato an early marriage, many children and many grandchildren. Boom. Kushina punched Hanxing in the head. Hearing this sentence for some reason, his anger rose. Humph. Finally, with a cold snort, Kushina disappeared in place with one step. Hanxing looked at the distant back, and his eyes were complicated. This is Naruto's mother. If he did it himself, the result would really affect the entire ninja world. Advertisement. It seems that the matter here must be dealt with as soon as possible, and back to the original time and space. He misses Ino and Hinata a little bit. After Kushina left completely, Hanxing lived a carefree life again. While getting familiar with and realizing the benefits of opening the seventh gate, familiarize yourself with all kinds of ninjutsu and taijutsu. 3 days later, after Hanxing completely mastered his body, he thought about it and took out the map to confirm the border of the Land of Thunder. Hanxing got up and walked there. His eyes were burning, and he secretly said in his heart, "I hope you Cloud Shinobi Village will not let me down." Cloud Shinobi Village, located in the country of Thunder, belongs to one of the 5 major countries, and practice ninjutsu. Good at lightning style and swordsmanship, the people of Cloud Shinobi Village have black skin and are aggressive. They are a martial arts country. It was 3rd Kazekage who disappeared, and the first country to wage war was Cloud Shinobi Village. Cloud Shinobi Village is built between a towering mountain peak, and the deafening Thundercloud Canyon resounds throughout the ninja world. Hanxing walked along, thinking about everything in his mind about Cloud Shinobi Village. Half a day later, the Cloud Shinobi Village, towering into the clouds, with a thunderous sound from time to time, appeared in Hanxing's sight. "Stop! Who?" The 2 Cloud Shinobi guards looked at Hanxing vigilantly, and one of them shouted. No wonder they were vigilant. After all, Hanxing was wearing a mask, so he couldn't see what he looked like, and now it was the period of the Third World War, so they couldn't help being careless. "I'm here to find you, 4th Hokage. I'm just asking to meet you. Forget it. I'll go there in person." After that, Hanxing disappeared from the sight of the 2 guards in an instant. "Gouda. Man. Did you see how he disappeared?" "I didn't see it. Did you just hear what he said? Go to our 4th Hokage?" the 2 guards said in horror. "I'm going to find Lord 4th Hokage. You are guarding here," said. The guard hurriedly ran towards the central building of the village. The reality of the day is hell. Advertisement. Hokage office. 4th Hokage, who just took office not long ago, sat in the exclusive seat of Hokage and listened impatiently to the secretary next to him, reporting these trivial matters in the ninja world. Not far from him, a young girl in her 20s listened intently and took some notes from time to time. This girl is the future 4th Hokage secret technique Mabui in the original book. The one who is reporting is the secret technique of the original 3rd Hokage, Azabui's uncle, Ma Ren. Swoosh! At this moment, very suddenly, a figure appeared in front of 4th Hokage out of thin air. "Who are you?" 4th Hokage frowned, looking at the sudden appearance of the figure, with a hint of hostility in his voice. Ma Ren, who was next to him, looked at Hanxing carefully and said, "Your Excellency should be the one who defeated Onogi and the others back then." "You know me. Cloud Shinobi Village has good information." Hanxing looked at the young man next to him in surprise. "Cold. It's you who took care of Onogi and the others. What are you doing here at our Cloud Shinobi Village?" 4th Hokage's eyes became even more vigilant after hearing this. "I want to take a look at Cloud Shinobi Village's entire lightning-style body forging secret," Hanxing said straight to the point. "No. Lightning style is my Cloud Shinobi secret ninjutsu, and it can't be rumored," 4th Hokage immediately refused. Chapter 171 Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Lightning style forging is the foundation for their Cloud Shinobi to be lazy to survive. What the outside world spreads is just some basics of lightning style forging, which is of no use. Therefore, Cloud Shinobi is too lazy to pursue it. A complete set of lightning style body forging techniques has been used throughout the ages, and those who can comprehend it are also Cloud Shinobi executives, or make great contributions to Cloud Shinobi. Hanxing is a good thing to come here. He directly understands their Cloud Shinobi set of lightning style body forging techniques. He is still a foreigner. If it weren't for Hanxing, he would indirectly help 4th Hokage to avenge his father's death, and he would have done it with 4th Hokage's violent temper. "Is it really impossible?" Hanxing frowned, his voice a little colder. Feeling Hanxing's tone, 4th Hokage's eyes burned with rage. "It's impossible. You can leave." Cloud Shinobi Village is one of the 5 major countries, and it is also a fighting country. When was the shadow of a village so threatened by an outsider? If it wasn't for Hanxing's record, fourth Raikage would have already started? All of this, in the final analysis, it's still a question of strength. Last time. Don't you really want to borrow my lightning-style body forging secrets? As Raikage, you are responsible for your own words. After a while, Hanxing said again, if you don't want the entire Cloud Shinobi village to disappear in the entire ninja world, if the 5 kingdoms of the ninja world become the 4 kingdoms. The last sentence fell, and a violent coercion suddenly erupted from Hanxing. This coercion is like the surging seawater, and it is like the top of Mount Tai, pressing everyone's faces pale. The weakest sackcloth, just under the pressure of Hanxing, blocked for a moment, and then passed out. With the coma of sackcloth, the pressure on Hanxing is increasing. This coercion is so strong, it's so strong, even third Raikage doesn't have such coercion. Advertisement as third Raikage's secretary, he is not only smart, but also strong, reaching Jonin. As Jonin, he can only barely resist this coercion, and it is basically impossible to fight. I am afraid that only elite Jonin will fight under this pressure. If the two sides really fight later, and the other side is fighting while releasing the pressure, then their Cloud Shinobi side's crowd tactics will not work at all. Only elite Jonin can participate in the battle, but Cloud Shinobi village went through the battle of Sand Shinobi, not to mention the heyday, but now, just look at how many elite Jonin can have in the 5 countries. Elite Jonin can be said to be the pillar ninja of a country. What's more, he is a super fierce who can hang 3rd Tsuchikage and 4 tails, 5 tails. If there is a fight, the whole Cloud Shinobi village will be hurt. Whoosh whoosh. At this moment, feeling the fluctuations from the Raikage building, Cloud Shinobi with masks appeared in the Raikage paint. There were not many people, only 6 people. Judging from the chakra flowing through these 6 people, all of them had strength. Elite Jonin. As for the other Anbu, they are all not far from the Raikage building, where Hanxing's coercion has not reached, waiting anxiously. Lord Raikage, are you all right? A Cloud Shinobi Anbu said respectfully. Boom. 4th Raikage I finally couldn't hold back the anger on his body, punched the table in front of him in half, and the flames burned in his eyes. Do you know that you are threatening me? Threatening the shadow of a country. Shadow of a nation. That's what it looks like in my eyes. A piece of trash. Hanxing sneered disdainfully. Advertisement, will you give the last sentence? Hanxing was a little impatient. You wanna die? Cloud Shinobi village was originally forged because of the lightning style, and it was all a bunch of reckless people. Coupled with Hanxing's wanton humiliation, 4th Raikage's anger suddenly reached a critical point and he lost his mind. The whole body is filled with thunder attribute chakra, like wearing a layer of lightning armor. Lightning style chakra mode is instantly activated, the fierce fist is wrapped with thick armor, and it smashes directly towards Hanxing's head with violent force. Master 4th Raikage, Marin wanted to ask 4th Raikage to hold back, but it was too late. Hanxing's expression did not change, he was not in a hurry. Facing 4th Raikage's fist, Hanxing slowly stretched out his right palm. The gentle right palm accurately catches 4th Raikage's iron fist. Boom. The dull physical collision sounded here. A huge airflow turned into a gust of wind and quickly spread around. Click. Click. The glass on the upper floor of Raikage was instantly shattered by this air current, turned into pieces, and flew into the distance. The surrounding Anbu's cheeks were aching from the strong wind, and even the masks on their faces couldn't stop them. But at this time, all Anbu's eyes didn't pay attention to the gust of wind around them, instead they all looked in the direction of 4th Raikage in horror. Advertisement, in other words, it is the direction Hanxing is in. I saw that the gentle palm forcibly caught 4th Raikage's iron fist, you know, that is the famous stunt of 4th Raikage. This punch, even an ordinary Jonin would not dare to take it. But what did they see? The masked man just stretched out his palm and blocked it without even moving. Who is the man on the opposite side? How strong is he? It was the 4th Raikage I who was shocked by the audience. In a state of rage, he didn't keep his hands at all, and he was completely following his death. He didn't expect that his full blow would be blocked by Han so easily. It's that simple. He felt that his fist facing Han's palm was like encountering a barrier. Not only did he not repel Hanxing, he didn't even let him move, but his attacking arm was a little numb. Fourth Raikage took a deep breath and suppressed his shock and anger. He already fully understood that his strength and the masked man in front of him were not on the same level. If I really fight him, I am afraid that I will be suppressed by its strong force like Third Tsuchikage and 4-5 Tails. Moreover, now that the battle between Cloud Shinobi and Sand Shinobi has just ended, and the village is recuperating, even if they fight, they can't be in Cloud Shinobi village, maybe there, if you add more than. Thinking of this, Fourth Raikage slowly retracted his fist. He gritted his teeth and said, Marin, go and get the complete lightning-style body forging technique from the village. Saying this sentence means that Fourth Raikage is compromising with Hanxing, not 1,000 troops, but one person. It means that the entire Cloud Shinobi village is compromising with an outsider. If this news spreads, it will definitely cause an uproar in the ninja world. It's a pity that this is Cloud Shinobi village. These Anbu are loyal to Fourth Raikage, and today's events are destined to not spread. Chapter 172 Previous chapter Next chapter Advertisement. Seeing this, Hanxing showed a smile on his face. It would have been better if it had been this way. You have to do it. Fourth Raikage clenched his fists and turned his head to look in the other direction. After a while, Marin walked in with a scroll, which recorded the lightning-style body forging secret technique. Lightning-style forging is worthy of being the treasure of Cloud Shinobi village. This scroll not only records the training methods of lightning-style forging, but also some precious experiences. For these, Hanxing glanced at it and didn't stop there. Now his lightning-style body forging technique is no weaker than previous cage levels. What he wants is the final stage of lightning-style body forging. The first and second stages of the lightning-style body forging secret art are similar to what Hanxing has explored himself. In the third stage, the number of words is very small, and it is very dangerous. There are only less than 5 words, and the body is forged with thunder. Tinlay is naturally the lightning in the Thundercloud Canyon, and body forging is naturally one's own body. But, now Hanxing's thunder fruit is basically immune to lightning, but I don't know if the lightning in the sky will cause damage to him. After thinking about it, he decided to go ahead and try it. After all, this is the way he knows how to temper his body in the end. He handed the scroll to Marin and said to Fourth Raikage, Thank you Fourth Raikage, I'm going to Thundercloud Canyon first. Let's go first. After saying that, a flash of lightning flashed under his feet and suddenly disappeared from everyone's eyes. So fast, Fourth Raikage murmured. Notice, later, no matter what happens in Thundercloud Canyon, no one will be allowed in. Fourth Raikage, I roared. Is Bai still in Thundercloud Canyon? Yes. Fourth generation, said one Cloud Shinobi Anbu. Advertisement, I see. Mark my words, Fourth generation. It's hard to say a word, but with our current high-end combat power, Cloud Shinobi is not Han's opponent at all. You, Marin reminded carefully. I know. For the sake of the village, as Raikage, I can bear it, but as an individual, I can't bear it, I don't want to bear it. Besides, we don't have a coward, so do I. Fourth Raikage eyes suddenly shouted. After a pause, if I were to die today, you are looking for a suitable person to be on the Fifth Raikage. After he finished speaking, Fourth Raikage took off his white imperial robe, revealing dark and strong muscles like a rock. Lightning flashed under his feet, and his whole body turned into a galloping arrow and disappeared in the eyes of everyone. Lord Marin, what should we do? A Raikage Anbu asked cautiously. Alas! Marin sighed and rubbed her numb head. She was really just like Third Raikage, violent and willful, and she didn't have the consciousness of being a Raikage at all. Follow what Fourth Raikage said. Besides, with their level of battle, can we participate in it? I hope it has become a complete master tail beast. By the way, send all the villagers to the shelter. If they enter Cloud Shinobi village without knowing the importance, it will be troublesome, Marin thought thoughtfully. Understood. Lord Marin. After the Anbu finished speaking, several people looked at each other and disappeared instantly. With Fourth Raikage and Marin's orders, the entire Cloud Shinobi village, the huge machine, began to turn rapidly, evacuating the crowd, and guarding the Thundercloud Canyon. It was very busy for a while. At this time, in the Thundercloud Canyon, Hanxing's electromagnetic fluctuations spread out instantly sensing the number of people in the Thundercloud Canyon. What surprised him was that there was only one human body fluctuation in the entire Thundercloud Canyon, and it was a special existence that was the same as Kushina's fluctuation. Advertisement: you don't have to think about it to know that the killer bee lives here. An existence who loves to sing weird songs. Hanxing didn't bother him. His eyes swept to the top of Thundercloud Canyon, and with a movement, he disappeared in place. At the same time, Killer Bee, wearing sunglasses, was writing and drawing with a pen, humming strange tunes from time to time. A voice suddenly appeared in my mind. "Bye, someone is coming. It's still a very strong existence, and it's not from Cloud Shinobi Village, currently climbing to the highest peak of Thundercloud Canyon." No doubt it was the Eight Tails Jinchuriki, Gyuki within Killer Bee. "Bye," who was writing, paused for a moment, frowned. "Ow. Yay. A guest is coming. I'm going to meet you." Killer Bee sang his strange tune and walked out of his own cave. "Bye. Come out for me." At this moment, a huge roar, like Hong Zhong Da Lu, echoed throughout the Thundercloud Canyon. "What's wrong with Big Brother?" Killer Bee disappeared in place following Fourth Raikage's chakra. At the top of the mountain, Hanxing looked up at the dark clouds and secretly said, "I hope it can be useful." As for Fourth Raikage's roar, he directly ignored it. Click. Click. At this moment, an arm-thick thunderbolt fell from the sky in the direction of Hanxing. Hanxing's expression remained unchanged, quietly waiting for the thunder and lightning to come. Lightning-style body forging secret art, it is written very clearly, Tinlay body forging. Advertisement: after introducing the thunder into the body, absorb the undissipated power of the thunder and temper the body. Boom. The thunder and lightning as thick as the waist instantly fell on Hanxing with violent energy. Hanxing's whole body felt numb and crisp, and his hair exploded involuntarily. The rest was nothing, not even a single injury. With the speed of his sage body cultivation, he could recover in the blink of an eye. If Fourth Raikage were to do it again, his eyes would definitely widen in shock. The lightning-style body forging secret technique said that there is a third layer, but in the history of Third Raikage, First Raikage is the only one who can successfully attract thunder into the body. The other two generations of Raikage were almost killed by the thunder in the Thundercloud Canyon. How could they absorb the lightning in the body? But what about Hanxing? No shit. This physique is more pervert than First Raikage. Regardless, Hanxing quickly absorbed the remaining Tinlay in his body and tempered his body. But a scene that shocked him appeared. After introducing thunder and lightning into his body, he planned to swim through various acupuncture points in his body, but just as he was introduced into his body, the power of the thunder in his body suddenly disappeared. He has also seen the power of Tinlay. Lightning-style Qilin is based on this principle, but at that time, the lightning in his hand was only to guide, not to attract Tinlay itself. Click. At this time, the thunder and lightning in the sky once again attracted Hanxing's attention. Crackle. Crackle. After being hit, Hanxing didn't care, and directly absorbed the power of thunder and lightning in his body again. This time, he was very careful to see which part of his body absorbed the power of lightning. Chapter 173 Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Swish. The power of the thunder in the body disappeared again out of thin air. This time, Hanxing vaguely saw a trace of white. Could it be the white thunder in my body? Hanxing frowned even more at the thought of this possibility. In the original book, he remembered that Enel did not absorb thunder and lightning from the sky. He was able to guide thunder and lightning just like Hanxing, but his thunderfruit devoured the thunder and lightning. How could this be possible? Hanxing felt lost. In order to prove it again, after another thunder and lightning fell in the sky, Hanxing directly greeted the white thunder in his body to go to the place where the thunder was. He felt that the white thunder in his body became crazy in an instant, as if he had seen something delicious. He quickly ran towards the thunder, and in the blink of an eye, he devoured the power of the thunder in his body. Sure enough, after confirming, Hanxing sighed inwardly. With a thought, Hanxing's right hand flickered with thunder, and he felt how much his thunderfruit improved after swallowing the thunder. Is it too little? After a while, Hanxing, who could not feel any change, retracted the lightning and murmured. If that's the case, then. Hanxing looked at the thunderclouds in the sky, his eyes flickering uncertainly.
Step by step toward the sky. Every step, the air under your feet will be swayed by ripples, like a ladder to the sky, feathering and flying. Below, Fourth Raikage looks at this scene with a pair of horrified eyes. Advertisement. What's so special? How can it still be like this? The intelligence didn't say that Han can still fly. Oh, yay. That guy is so cool. Brother, are we still doing it? Asked Killer Bee, singing a strange tune. Wait for him to come down. I can't believe he'll stay up there. Fourth Raikage gritted his teeth. Thundercloud Canyon. A group of Anbu are waiting. Each of them has the strength of elite Jonin. They looked into the distance, waiting for Fourth Raikage and Eight Tails Jinchuriki Killer Bee to take on the masked man. Witness this amazing battle. Is that a person? At this time, an Anbu pointed to the sky above Thundercloud Canyon, surprised. Looks like it. What is he doing? How can he even think about going to the sky like this? He. Looking at the clothes, he is going to fight Fourth Raikage and Lord Bai. I really don't know what to say. You must know that there is the most dense area of thunder and lightning in the Thundercloud Canyon. He went up like this himself, really looking for death. Anbu from Raikage's office sneered. That's the case. That's a shame. I can't see Raikage-sama and Kamui. In midair, Hanxing knew nothing about Fourth Raikage than the two of them. At this point, he had already walked to not 3 meters away from the area where the thundercloud was. When we got here, Hanxing stopped walking, waiting for the thunder to come. Boom! On the cloudy sky, a roar of thunder sounded from time to time, and a blue light of thunder was looming inside. Click! Advertisement. A thunderbolt with a thick arm suddenly blasted out from the inside, and Hanxing's body flashed and appeared below the thunderbolt. Crackle! Crackle! This time, at the moment of the split, Hanxing made white light flicker in his body to see if he could let Baialei directly absorb the Baialei inside his body from outside. Pity. Hanxing's idea failed. White thunder flashed on Hanxing's body, but he couldn't absorb sky thunder. Looks like we can only introduce Tinlay into the body. With a murmur, Hanxing started the initial Tinlay forging. 1, 2, 3. Hanxing sat in midair, tempering and absorbing the sky thunder in midair, and then absorbed by the white thunder in his body. Once, twice, in the blink of an eye, a month passed quietly. During this month, Hanxing has been absorbing thunder and lightning in midair. When he is hungry, he will fall above the Thundercloud Canyon, eat something, and then take a short nap. The rest of the time is here to absorb thunder. Even the scene in the training space has been transformed into the appearance of Thundercloud Canyon. 1 month outside plus 10 months inside, Hanxing spent a total of 11 months here. In the past 11 months, the power of Hanxing's Thunder Fruit has increased greatly, from 500 million volts to 700 million volts. The improvement is not terrible. After raising it to 700 million volts, the lightning in the Thundercloud Canyon has already hit him. It should not be that the lightning in the body has been saturated. It has no effect on him. In the past month, as Hanxing was often struck by lightning, his physical strength also increased a little. But it was only a little, which was a pleasant surprise. During this period, Hanxing also understood why his white thunder could swallow the lightning in the sky. Advertisement. First, it should be the enhancement of one's physique, which can withstand the bombardment of the thunder. Second, the voltage of Thundercloud Canyon Tinlay should be 700 million volts. According to data, the voltage of lightning in the sky is between 100 million volts and 1 billion volt. The normal state of his Thunder Fruit development is only 500 million volts, so it can absorb the lightning in the sky. If Hanxing Thunder Fruit is 700 million volts in normal state, I am afraid that the white thunder on my body will not absorb it. Coming down from midair, Hanxing stood on the top of Thundercloud Canyon, took out an Anbu mask from his arms, put on a suit, and walked down. His clothes and mask are just ordinary things. They can't stand the bombardment of the sky, and the thunder has long been torn apart. This month, he has been wrapping his body with thunder and lightning, and it is still high in the sky anyway. Cannot see. Yo, Fourth Raikage. Thank you for your hospitality. Did you know I was leaving and came to say goodbye to me? Hanxing quipped. Farewell. You're thinking too much. Fourth Raikage roared abruptly. The Thunderbolt chakra mode was activated, and when he stepped on the ground suddenly collapsed, and the whole person disappeared in place like thunder and lightning. The same goes for Killer Bee, disappearing in place almost as soon as Raikage's roar fell. Suddenly, the two appeared in front of Hanxing one after the other. Two wrists wrapped around huge iron gauntlets, with violent lightning and powerful force, attacked Hanxing's neck at the same time. At the same time, two loud voices fell, lightning-style thunderbolt hot knife. It's a pity that the two have perfect ideas, but the reality is very cruel. At the moment when the two attacked Hanxing, Hanxing suddenly disappeared in place. Chapter 174 Previous chapter Next chapter Advertisement. At the same time, a faint voice appeared behind the two of them. It's faster than me, it's far worse. After the words fell, Hanxing disappeared again. Appearing silently behind fourth Raikage, the black whip leg kicked fourth Raikage's back with a burst of air. Like a volcano erupting, violent energy suddenly erupted from it, like several exploding cannonballs. Boom! Fourth Raikage's entire body was like a meteor bombarding the ground, and the hard ground sunk in an instant, forming a small pothole. The powerful force remained unabated, centered on this pothole, like a plowing field. It slammed into the front, plowing a long trail on the ground. Hit my big brother, you bastard, you idiot! Killer Bee sang a strange song and appeared in front of Hanxing. Holding an ordinary long knife, the lightning flashes on the knife. A sudden wave at Hanxing. The cold light flashed, and the thunder light appeared. When, in Killer Bee's shocked look, Hanxing ignored the thunder on the long knife, stretched out two fingers and pinched it lightly, and clamped the long knife in front of him, and then exerted a little force. The tip of the thunder sword was smashed into two by Hanxing. With the tip of the knife between two fingers, it is a throw to Killer Bee. The white blade turned into a white streamer and ran towards Killer Bee. Killer Bee hurriedly placed the long knife in the direction of the blade's tip. When, advertisement, a blast of weapons crashing. What? Killer Bee exclaimed. The huge force from the tip of the knife made Killer Bee retreat involuntarily, leaving two long footprints on the ground. Click. When the strength of the blade disappeared, the long blade in front of Killer Bee was full of cracks, and then fell to the ground as fragments. Looking at Killer Bee with only the handle left, and at the broken blade below, his eyes were full of solemnity, as a casual blow so strong. Bye. This guy is very strong, very strong. Let me out, inside, Eight Tails Gyuki said. Whoosh! Fourth Raikage appeared in front of him in lightning-style chakra mode, and behind him, a long leg mark was printed on it. Bye. Are you all right? Fourth Raikage said, looking at Hanxing's direction. Big brother, I'm fine. The whole person is very strong, Killer Bee said solemnly. Of course. After all, that is the character who defeated 3rd Tsuchikage Onogi and the 4-5 Tails. How can he not be strong? Fourth Raikage I saw smiled. Understood, bro. I'm going to let Gyuki come out. Okay. Fourth Raikage nodded. The rich dark red chakra began to emerge from Killer Bee's body. The chakra became more and bigger. At the same time, Killer Bee's whole body was wrapped in chakra, and no one could be seen at all. When this chakra reaches the critical point, it will be like a cracking sound of eggshells. An octopus with 2 giant horns on its head and 8 tails behind it appeared in front of Hanxing. He is tall, like a revived ancient beast. Advertisement. This is 8 Tails Gyuki, ranked 2nd among the 9 tails. Are you sure you want to fight me? Hanxing frowned. Fourth Raikage, are you looking for abuse? Humph. I am the Cloud Shinobi lightning-style body forging secret technique. I gave it to you as Fourth Raikage. But as an individual, I will not suffer such a big humiliation, Fourth Raikage Taiching said. Well, forget it. I'm in a good mood today, so I'll accompany you to have a good time. By the way, let's see how much lightning I have on my body. Hanxing shrugged indifferently. His tone was like playing with children. Fourth Raikage was furious. Unforgivable. How dare you underestimate the old man? Die for the old man. Fourth Raikage roared wildly. His palms formed into 5 fingers, and the lightning flashed on his palms, dazzling. The whole person suddenly disappeared from everyone's eyes like a teleportation. Boy! Die for the old man, lightning-style lateral bolt of pain. Suddenly, Fourth Raikage's voice came from behind Hanxing. The palm of the hand turned into a knife, and it was wrapped with rich thunder light, with unparalleled penetrating power, stabbing Hanxing's heart. Don't you think you're annoying? Hanxing turned and said flatly. Reaching out, the white thunder light with a thin layer of black, suddenly stretched out to Fourth Raikage's palm knife. Crackle! Crackle! Hanxing's palm directly grasped Fourth Raikage's palm, and the penetrating power of the lightning on his hand was directly ignored by Hanxing. You can catch my lateral bolt of pain. Fourth Raikage was horrified. This lateral bolt of pain is a stunt he has practiced since he was a child. Once, with this palm, he directly split a small mountain in half, and even cut off a corner of Gyuki. Of course, Fourth Raikage couldn't bear to think too much. He felt that the whole person rose out of thin air, and a huge force came from the front of the palm.
Advertisement. Boom. Hanxing held Fourth Raikage's palm and slammed it to the ground. Light black-white thunder filled his body and rushed towards Fourth Raikage.
Damn! The old man won't let you go. Fourth Raikage's roar came from the small pothole.
As soon as he finished yelling, a scene that shocked and even terrified him appeared. I saw the lightning armor on Fourth Raikage's body. When it hit the black lightning, it was instantly defeated by it. There was no obstacle, just like paper.
How is it possible? How is it possible? Fourth Raikage had a hard time accepting what was happening in front of him. Pain. The pain is unbearable, numb, the whole body is weak. Fourth Raikage stared angrily, and his consciousness fell into a coma. Hanxing retracted the black thunderbolt in his hand, looked at Fourth Raikage, which had turned black, and said casually, "What a waste. I can't stand it for even a second, it's still Raikage." In the electromagnetic induction, he felt the fluctuation of the human body in the distance, and Hanxing threw Fourth Raikage there. Looking up, looking at the behemoth in front of him, "Hey, will you be next?" Damn it. This uncle is not comparable to 4 tails, 5 tails. Gyuki roared, clenched his fists, and slammed down Hanxing with monstrous strength. Hanxing didn't panic, clenched his fists, and slammed the giant fist towards the sky without fear. Boom! Like Mars hitting the Earth, 2 disproportionate fists collided together. A huge roar suddenly sounded from between the two. "How is that possible?" shouted Killer Bee in Gyuki's body. At the moment when one person and one beast collided, Hanxing's fist burst out with great force, which was like a volcanic eruption, extremely violent. Gyuki was directly blasted out by this huge force, breaking several small peaks before stopping. Chapter 175 Previous chapter Next chapter Advertisement. How can your strength be so strong? It's stronger than our tailed beast. Gyuki fell into the rubble of the mountain and cried out in shock. It's not shocking. Since becoming a tailed beast, it is the first time that it has seen human beings who can outperform their tailed beasts with physical skills alone. Even when Senju Hashirama, the god of the ninja world, captured them, they were only sealed with a wooden shield, rather than simply relying on taijutsu. For a time, Gyuki doubted whether the human in front of him was a beast in human skin. Is it big? I think it's okay. It should be said that your tailed beasts are a little weak, Hanxing said with a smile. Human. You are courting death, Gyuki shouted. As a tailed beast, how could he lose to humans in strength? Not to mention the hidden sarcasm in the plain tone, all of this is not acceptable. Boom. Boom. Gyuki got up, took a step, and the sound of shaking the mountain sounded, and the entire tailed beast turned into an afterimage, instantly appearing in front of Hanxing. The monstrous force carried by the 2 fists crashed down towards Hanxing. Hanxing stretched out his palms, and light black thunder began to gather in his hands. In the blink of an eye, a thunder spear emitting a fierce cold light appeared in his hands. Between the 2 fists, Hanxing jumped up, swipe at Gyuki's neck. At the moment of swinging, the light black thunder spear instantly became larger and turned into a giant thunder spear. The black thunder and lightning at the tip of the spear were extremely dense, and the entire void trembled. If this shot is stabbed, Killer Bee will probably die directly. Boom! At the critical moment, The white-striped octopus tentacles behind 8 tails turned into strong whip ropes, tightly entangling Hanxing's giant thunder spear. Advertisement crackle. Crackle. Just got in touch. The huge voltage and current from the spear directly electrocuted 8 tails' tentacles into coke, and even Hanxing could ask the rich taste of grilled octopus on it. Damn it. Gyuki regained his senses and threw his giant fist at Hanxing again. With violent energy, the giant fist pierced the air and appeared in front of Hanxing in an instant. No, it was in front of Hanxing's thunder giant spear. Puff. The huge spear pierced the fist of 8 tails without any hindrance. Hanxing's eyes were full of doubts. What did 8 tails go crazy about? Seeking abuse. Crackle. Crackle. Lightning flashed suddenly on the giant thunder spear, and the violent thunder and lightning spread all over the entire body of 8 tails in an instant. Ah! 8 tails Gyuki roared in the sky with a hoarse voice, extremely terrifying. How can this voltage be so high? It is many times higher than the ordinary lightning style. Don't talk about doing it. It feels that its body is not its own at all, and the whole body is electrocuted and lost consciousness. No wonder Fourth Raikage, who has practiced lightning style since childhood, did not last a second under his lightning. This kind of high-intensity current, even if it is a tailed beast, it will not last long. After a while, Gyuki's shouts became less and less loud, and his body began to emit a strong aroma of meat. Advertisement. Just as Gyuki was about to change his body shape, Hanxing quickly drew his spear from 8 tails' fist and swept it at 8 tails' 8 tentacles. 8 with a strong octopus flavor, takoyaki fell to the ground. You bastard! This time, I don't understand your lightning style moves, and next time I won't be so lucky, 8 tails roared weakly. The whole body began to gradually shrink, and finally turned into a charred figure and fell to the ground. Needless to say, this guy is also a killer bee. Looking at the 8 takoyaki in front of him, there was a hint of greed in Hanxing's mouth. Since he came to this ninja world, he has not eaten takoyaki once. Today I finally have a good time. Putting away the thunder spear in his hand, Hanxing picked up a huge octopus tentacle. Just as he was about to eat it, the octopus tentacles in front of him began to transform into 8 dark red-tailed beasts, chakra. Alas! What a pity, Hanxing murmured, carrying Killer Bee towards the entrance of Thundercloud Canyon. At this time, outside the Thundercloud Canyon, a man named Anbu looked up and waited for the end of the war, but from the solemn look in his eyes, it could be seen that their mood was not very calm. Just now, their long-awaited battle began to break out, but not long after, a dark figure fell here from midair, as if someone had thrown garbage. Everyone who is familiar with Raikage's figure will naturally recognize that it is their own Raikage. This originally excited them, and their excitement suddenly became calm as if a basin of cold water had been poured. The horror in his eyes couldn't be concealed. The battle between the three of them broke out to the defeat of Fourth Raikage, and it took absolutely no more than 2 minutes. What is the concept of 2 minutes? And it's still a 2-on-1 situation. This shows that the strength of the person on the opposite side far exceeds the strength of Fourth Raikage, and even they may not be on the same level. Afterwards, an Anbu, carrying the comatose Fourth Raikage, ran towards the hospital in the distance, and the others continued to wait here. Advertisement. This time, the excitement in their hearts had long since disappeared, but instead became extremely nervous. As Raikage's elite Jonin and Anbu, they still know about their own affairs, and the strength of 8 Tails Jinchuriki Killer Bee is comparable to that of Fourth Raikage.
The guy on the other side can defeat Lord Raikage in 2 minutes, they can't help but be nervous.
At this time, the Thundercloud Canyon ended with a roar of 8 tails. Anbu, who had a dignified face at first, turned blue again at this time. From 8 Tails' words, it is not difficult to hear that this time the masked man on the opposite side won. Look at the time. It's a bit ironic that Fourth Raikage and 8 Tails Jinchuriki have teamed up to not last 5 minutes in that man's hands before 3 minutes have passed. What now? An Anbu said solemnly. Silence answered him. The 2 most powerful forces in my village have not lasted 5 minutes in the hands of others. From the side, it can be seen that people are only powerful, far from being comparable to them. What did they do in the past? Send death. I'll go in and have a look. By the way, beg for mercy and ask what the person inside has asked for. Lord Killer Bee must not be taken away by him, and Anbu said firmly. Excuse me. The other Anbu said one after another. Da da da. Just then, a sound of footsteps approached them from far to near. All Anbu's eyes were attracted and looked into the canyon. A figure slowly appeared in front of them, carrying a fainted person on his shoulders. At the moment of seeing the figure clearly, all the Anbu present, even though they had guessed the answer to the battle, couldn't help but take a deep breath after seeing that person.